Chapter 41:38. A door appeared in front of them. The door was half open. An extremely terrifying aura came from behind the door. It was like the roar of a dragon or a tiger, causing their souls to tremble. Lin Xian and the others stopped. Murong Qingqing looked ahead and said in surprise, "Could it be that a dragon and a tiger were sealed in front of them?" Lin Xian looked at the toad and asked, "What is this place?" The toad's eyes moved. He said, "Well, I'm not too sure. I only know that this is a very mysterious place. Kid, let's go back. The aura in front is too unusual." It was obvious that he didn't want to go forward. "What are you afraid of? If there's anything, I'll protect you." The dark red divine dragon waved its claws and looked ahead. "I wonder which senior of the Dragon Ball has fallen here. Do you want to go in and take a look?" Lin Xian asked. His eyes flashed with a trace of surprise. The toad jumped back in fright. At the same time it said, "Have you heard of Mount Longhu? That's the legendary divine mountain. Even if this place isn't Mount Longhu, it's probably built based on it. Its power is unpredictable. I advise you not to try it lightly." Mount Longhu. Lin Xian's eyes flashed. The legendary divine mountain? Why haven't I heard of it? He looked at the Crimson Dragon and Murong Qingqing and asked, "Haven't you heard of it?" "No." The Crimson Dragon shook its head. However, Murong Qingqing frowned slightly. She said, "I seem to have seen it once in the ancient books of the Kunlun Pavilion. However, Mount Longhu was a legendary mountain. It didn't seem to exist in reality. Since it was a legendary thing, it was even more impossible to miss it." With that, Lin Xian walked forward. Murong Qingqing and the Crimson Dragon followed. When they arrived at the door, the moment they stepped in, a terrifying dragon and tiger roar sounded. The three of them were stunned. Murong Qingqing's face turned pale. The phantom of a phoenix appeared on her body and blocked the aura. However, she did not step forward. "I don't have the aura of the Dragon Clan, nor do I have the power of the Tiger Clan. I'm afraid that I'm not fated to enter." Lin Xian took a look and nodded his head. "Qingqing, wait for me outside then." Although he did not know what was inside, he did not want Murong Qingqing to take the risk. Moreover, the other party was right. Perhaps only he and the Crimson Dragon could enter. The great dragon sword soul was displayed to the extreme. The Crimson Dragon's blood surged. Sure enough, they felt the pressure in front of them slowly disappear. The two of them walked in. Low growls could be heard from time to time. The surroundings were extremely dark, so dark that one could not even see one's own fingers. The light on Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon was swallowed up. However, they knew that they were walking forward because the pressure on their bodies was getting stronger and stronger, and the dragon's roar was getting louder and louder. After an unknown period of time, light finally appeared in front of them, and it was getting brighter and brighter. Lin Xian and the others arrived at a space. There was a painting hanging in front of them. The painting was very large, and there was a mountain drawn on it. It was a mountain surrounded by a dragon and a tiger. The holy light made one feel as if they had arrived at an immortal palace. Could this be the legendary Mount Longhu? Lin Xian looked at the painting with a shocked expression. Indeed, such a miracle should not exist in reality. The Crimson Dragon beside him was also shocked. There was actually such a sacred place. Did the dragon race not remember it? He was too shocked. At the same time, he said, "Kid, although this is a painting, the laws contained in it are too unusual. That dragon seems to be alive. We can cultivate here." Lin Xian nodded. Indeed, there was a dragon and a tiger on the mountain. As they breathed, the laws in the sky surged. They could indeed cultivate here. The two of them sat down cross-legged and began to comprehend. This was a very strange realm because when the two of them were comprehending, their souls seemed to have been absorbed by the painting. They felt that they were surrounded by a holy place. They had really arrived at the foot of the divine mountain. Looking at the huge dragon and tiger, they felt how small they were. Whoosh! The Crimson Dragon transformed into his true form and synchronized with the dragon's breathing. In the next moment, an extremely terrifying rumbling sound came from his body. The power was much stronger than before. The Crimson Dragon's eyes widened. "Kid, this is a special breathing technique, and it's a breathing technique of the dragon race. It's very likely that it's lost. The Crimson Dragon was really excited. There were many dragons in the world, and the dragons were born with bloodline inheritances. They didn't need to learn many of the dragon race's great mystical abilities. However, there were also differences in strength among the dragon pearls. For example, the nest of 10,000 dragons was a place where many dragons were gathered. It was a powerful monarch race. But the true core was the direct descendants of the dragon desolate land. Only they could master the ancient scriptures of the Dragon Emperor. That was the most important part. And the other dragons couldn't come into contact with it at all. And this breathing technique should have been created by some extremely powerful ancient scripture. Lin Xian was also surprised. Was it the breathing technique of the dragon race? Although he wasn't a dragon, he had a dragon soul. He fused with the dragon soul and synchronized with the dragon's breathing. In the next moment, he also felt that there seemed to be a force rapidly forming in his body. This feeling was really too strange. As expected of an ancient scripture, Lin Xian was surprised. Even if it wasn't left behind by a great emperor, it was still created by an extremely terrifying powerhouse. At the same time, Lin Xian was shocked. He didn't know how powerful those princes and princesses were. These people were born as saints. In the beginning, they consumed and cultivated the strongest techniques and ancient scriptures left behind by the great emperor. They were probably already so strong that they defied the heavens. Lin Xian clenched his fists. He walked the path of the great emperor. One day, he would meet these princes. Thinking of this, an extremely cold light bloomed in his eyes. It wasn't enough. He had to become stronger. He had to become even stronger. Next, Lin Xian entered a state of selflessness. He completely fused with the dragon soul and began to study and cultivate this breathing technique. This feeling was very strange. Lin Xian seemed to have figured out a little, but he couldn't completely master it. In the end, he simply didn't think about anything. In between breaths, the great Tao and endless rays of light gushed out from his body. At this moment, he seemed to have turned into a dragon and was sleeping. The Crimson Dragon next to him was shocked. He found that the speed at which Lin Xian mastered this breathing technique was faster than his. This was too unbelievable. Thinking of this, he also cultivated with all his strength. After an unknown amount of time, Lin Xian opened his eyes and looked at the tiger next to him. Because that ferocious tiger was also breathing. Dragons had the dragon race's breathing technique. Could the tiger be using the tiger race's breathing technique? He was ready to try. However, he didn't have the tiger race's bloodline or the tiger soul, so he couldn't contact the tiger. However, Lin Xian didn't give up. Although he couldn't get the tiger race's breathing technique, he could study the tiger's demeanor and use it to comprehend the great Tao of heaven and earth. Chapter 4139. Tiger, the king of beasts. The tiger was the master of killing. It was an extremely powerful divine beast. Lin Xian took the Tao of slaughter from its body and prepared to create a tiger sword art. His attainments in the Tao of the sword were already very high. Moreover, he had obtained thousands of top-notch divine abilities. He could learn from others and create his own sword art. Lin Xian was completely immersed in it. He forgot about time and everything else. After an unknown amount of time, a dragon and a tiger in front of him let out a dragon roar and a tiger roar. A mysterious force wrapped around him and the Crimson Dragon and sent him out. In the next moment, their bodies shook and they opened their eyes. The painting in front of them was shaking. However, they could no longer enter to comprehend it. The two of them knew that their opportunity had run out, so they bowed deeply and returned the way they came. Outside, Murong Qingqing was holding Little White and looking at the various cultivation techniques and abilities from before. The toad beside him was yawning in boredom. Suddenly, they turned their heads and stared at the door in front of them. "You're out." Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon walked out and asked, "How long has it been?" They felt that they had been meditating for too long. 100 years had passed? Murong Qingqing calculated the time and said that only 3 days had passed. It's only been 3 days. Lin Xian was surprised. It seemed that the painting was indeed an extremely terrifying thing. It was likely that the time inside had been modified. I wonder who left it behind? Brother Xian, what's inside? Murong Qingqing was also curious. Lin Xian gave a brief account of what had happened to him. Murong Qingcheng was greatly surprised. Did Mount Longhu really exist? The toad's eyes were also red. Are you talking about the ancient breathing technique of the Dragon Clan? I want to learn it too. Learn your sister. You're not from the Dragon Clan. You can't learn it at all. The Crimson Dragon despised. The toad secretly lamented that it was a pity. Lin Xian also wanted to teach this breathing technique to Murong Qingcheng, but he realized that it was impossible. Murong Qingcheng had the bloodline of the Phoenix, so she could not learn the breathing technique of the Dragon Clan. Murong Qingcheng didn't force it. She said, "There's no need for that, big brother Xian. These top-notch abilities are already an extra surprise for me. Not to mention, we also obtained so many spiritual herbs." Lin Xian didn't force him. He knew that this ancient breathing technique was not simple. If he did not have the dragon soul, he probably would not have been able to cultivate it. After looking around, they felt that there was nothing else, so they prepared to leave. But how do I get out? They could only return the way they came. Sure enough, when they reached that place, they came out of another door. Everyone walked out. Buzz. They felt the light around them become brighter, and there were sounds of killing and shouting coming from all around them. They looked carefully and realized that they had actually arrived at the foot of Mount Longhu. Did he come out? And not at the top of the mountain, but at the foot of the mountain. However, Lin Xian quickly changed his expression and frowned. He sensed that the number of people in this world had increased again. It seemed that more people had come in, and those people naturally sensed the arrival of Lin Xian and the others. "Who are you?" They were too shocked. The other party appeared out of thin air, which really gave them a fright. "It's you." Suddenly, a scream was heard. "Great! It's Lin Wudi. We found him." A figure rushed over quickly, and at the same time, his voice was heard. With a wave of his hand, an endless barren aura spread out, forming a long spear with terrifying laws surging on it. Buzz. The spear stabbed out, blotting out the sky and covering the earth, towards Lin Xian. This was a sure-kill spear, and its attack power was astonishing. Lin Xian snorted coldly, and with a backhand palm. His palm was like a dragon's head, and it rarely moved forward, directly grabbing the spear. The person who attacked was a little saint from the great desolate mansion. He had reached the peak of the little saint realm and was not far from the sacred venerable realm. Originally, he thought that he could seriously injure the other party with a surprise attack. He even thought that he could kill the other party. However, he did not expect that Lin Xian would take it so easily. Moreover, Lin Xian's arm shook, and the force made his body tremble. What a terrifying physique. No wonder it was rumored that he could not fight Lin Wudi in close combat. The person shouted angrily, trying to distance himself. However, he could not pull out his long spear at all. He could only give up on the spear and escape, preparing to attack from afar. A lot of barren laws appeared on his body, like an endless autumn wind, bringing with it a sense of sadness. Lin Xian's lips curled into a disdainful smile. He did not care about such a divine ability anymore. He stretched out his palm again and slapped forward. However, at this time, his heart was beating wildly, and a great sense of danger shrouded his soul. A killing sword was behind him, piercing towards his head. It was too fast. In an instant, the sword was behind him. The cold killing intent from the sword made him feel cold all over. Damn it! Lin Xian was shocked. This was a top-notch assassin. At the same time, Murong Qingcheng, the Crimson Dragon, and the toad roared angrily, wanting to attack. However, in the next moment, they were all assassinated. Get lost. At this moment of crisis, Lin Xian did not have time to think. He roared and instinctively activated the dragon-breathing technique that he had just learned. As he inhaled and exhaled, a mysterious force was produced in his body, and it directly exploded. There was a boom. The killing sword was blasted into pieces. Those figures also vomited blood and flew backward, their eyes filled with disbelief. At the same time, the Crimson Dragon also activated its breathing technique, pushing the people back. A dragon's roar, with the two of them as the center, spread in all directions. The four assassins were all injured. When they failed to hit, they instantly fled and hid. "Are you all right?" Lin Xian looked at Qingqing. Murong Qingqing shook her head. She said that the people of the mortal world, apart from the mortal world, they could not think of a second person who could send out such a group of saint assassins and possess such a killing ability. All of this happened in an instant. In the next moment, the injured little saint of great desolate mansion screamed, "Come quickly! I found Lin Wudi." This voice was like a clap of thunder, spreading in all directions. "What? It's that kid? Kill him quickly. The people of the grotto heaven will reward you handsomely." The surrounding saints rushed over crazily. In an instant, divine abilities covered the sky and covered the earth. Lin Xian's face was gloomy. "How dare you be the lackeys of the grotto heaven? Go to hell then." A trace of shocking killing intent appeared in his eyes. At the same time, he quickly activated the breathing technique, and a terrifying force surged. He opened the sky with both hands and swept everything away. In an instant, the three of them exploded. Then, with a roar, all kinds of sword chi swept in all directions. He was really too strong. Ordinary late-stage minor saints were no match for him at all. These people were seriously injured. "Join hands!" They roared crazily, but Murong Qingqing and the others were not to be trifled with. They fought back crazily. Lin Xian stared at the saint of great desolate mansion who had shouted before and threw out a punch. Chapter 4140. The sage's expression changed drastically. Damn it! Why did the other party target him? Didn't he just shout a little? He quickly retreated, and his body turned into nothingness. At the same time, he spat out 3 shields to block in front of him. However, it was useless. Everything was shattered by the punch. Half of his body exploded, and the remaining half was also shattered. "No!" He screamed in fear and quickly used the great desolate mansion's peerless divine ability. That was the desolate summoning. He summoned 3 barren men, who were extremely terrifying. Together, they charged forward. However, it was useless. Previously, Lin Xian had been extremely fearful of this move. But now, it was useless. Even if the 4 of them attacked him together, he wouldn't care because they were weaker than him. He swung the sword in his hand. Every time he circulated the dragon breath, coupled with the great dragon sword soul, he was extremely powerful. He split the summoned desolate men in half. The small saint's astral soul was destroyed. "Those who block me will die." Lin Xian looked around. "If you want to kill me, you have to be prepared to be killed." He roared and fully activated the 9 yang divine body. The great dragon sword soul swept across. At this moment, everyone trembled in fear. "He's too strong. He's as strong as the god of war. Run." These people were no match for him. They quickly retreated. Murong Qingqing, the crimson dragon, and the others chased after them frantically. In an instant, the surrounding people were utterly defeated. "How dare you!" At this moment, a roar was heard. A terrifying sword light slashed down from the sky. The desolate sword was extremely powerful. On the other side, a yellow spring diagram appeared. It was also extremely terrifying. The endless yellow spring filled the sky. The sacred venerables attacked. This time, there were many sacred venerables. When they attacked, all the sword chi and phoenix phantoms were sent flying. Lin Xian quickly retreated. Murong Qingqing also kept dodging. 7-colored phoenix wings appeared on her back, increasing her speed to the extreme. Lin Xian even used the void escape technique to dodge the sure kill attack. In the next moment, his face became extremely cold. Up the mountain. Since these Saint Venerables were here, they could only go up the mountain. There was a world-destroying storm on the mountain that they could activate. Lin Xian and the others quickly rushed up Mount Longhu. More and more holy venerates appeared behind them. "Brad, do you think you can still escape here?" In an instant, 8 holy venerables appeared in the surroundings. The people of the 3 holy cities all revealed hideous smiles. No matter how heaven-defying the other party was, he wouldn't be able to escape from their clutches. Not good. Junior brother Lin is in danger. On the other side, the people from Peerless City also heard the roar and flew over. However, what they saw was an astonishing scene. The 8 Saint Venerables attacked together toward Lin Xian. "Damn it, how dare you!" Fu Hongxue and the others roared, but it was too late. After all, The other party was a wholly venerable. Could Lin Xian block it? Boom, boom. Suddenly, they saw a terrifying apocalyptic storm blowing up on the mountain. That aura made their hair stand on end. The 8 sacred venerates originally had sinister smiles on their faces. The experts of the sacred city behind them were even more sinister. They had to see the other party's miserable state. However, in the next moment, when the apocalyptic storm blew up, their expressions all changed. Damn it, there was a trap here. How dare this brat trick us? They all went crazy and retreated madly. The 8 sacred venerables tried their best to resist. However, it was useless. They felt that the storm could destroy everything. The experts of the sacred city were instantly reduced to ashes, and the 8 sacred venerables were also severely injured. They were about to be killed. At this moment, a cold shout came from heaven and earth. Then, a palm slapped down and enveloped the 8 sacred venerables. Then, it left with the 8 sacred venerables. The apocalyptic storm. On the other side, Lin Xian and the others had already hidden in the Great Sage Tower. However, they could sense that the 8 sacred venerables were not dead. What was going on? After the storm disappeared, they hurriedly investigated. Lin Xian's expression was incomparably cold. Someone could actually escape from the apocalyptic storm. Who was the person who saved the 8 sacred venerables? Wasn't that too heaven-defying? It was probably an existence that surpassed the sacred venerables. Murong Qingqing's face was also cold. The 8 sacred venerables were covered in injuries and had been severely injured. They were still trembling in fear. Thank you, Sacred Lord, for saving us. They bowed respectfully to the void. The Sacred Lord was the Lord of the Sacred City, which was also the Sage King. Lin Xian and the others' expressions were incomparably solemn. The Sage King had actually come personally. It was really unbelievable. Was it just to capture him? Or was there another reason? It should be because of the treasures here. The heavens and earth shattered as a terrifying canyon appeared in the air. The aura emitted from it made everyone feel despair. Above the canyon, a figure sat cross-legged. The desolate aura on his body was extremely terrifying. He was the mansion lord of the great desolate mansion, which was also the Sage King, Desolate Heaven Sage King. His appearance shocked everyone. Had the true Sage King finally appeared? Buzz. On the other side, another person appeared. It was also a hazy figure. He was wearing the Yellow Springs Tao diagram and was abnormally terrifying. The cold aura on his body swept across the entire world. This was the Sage King of the Yellow Springs Hall, known as the Silver Corpse Sage King. There was a legend about the Silver Corpse Sage King. It was rumored that he was already dead. It was just that the place where he was buried was very special. The corpse was cultivating. He had broken through to become an Earth Sage King. It could be said that it was extremely strange. At this moment, everyone thought that they had been sucked into the Yellow Springs. The Silver Corpse Sage King had a divine sword dripping with blood hanging on his waist. It was the Yellow Springs sword. This sage artifact was the Yellow Springs Hall's divine artifact, which had been passed down for a long time. It was said that the blood on it was left behind by a supreme being. The toad's eyes were about to pop out. The Crimson Dragon was also gnashing its teeth. One Sage King was already very dangerous for them. Now that there were 2 Sage Kings, could they still escape? Even if they had the Great Sage Tower, it would be difficult for them to escape. This was not the end. The void on the other side collapsed again, and a war chariot appeared in the void. The war chariot was incomparably simple. It was a powerful sage artifact. The ones pulling the war chariot were even more extraordinary. There were 8 giant pythons with purple wings and huge bodies. They were like mountains, carrying endless clouds and killing intent. They flipped in the sky. Each of the 8 flying pythons was a holy venerate. Using Sage Kings to pull the war chariot was really a big deal. The person on the war chariot was definitely a Sage King. This was the Sage King of the Thousand Demon City, called the Soaring Sage King. It was said that his original form was a flying mantis, an extremely terrifying mutated beast. There were still 4 people standing beside him, all of them exuding supreme arrogance. They were precisely Lu Qingfeng and the others. Chapter 41-41. The three Sage Kings appeared and surrounded Dragon Tiger Mountain. The supreme aura of the Sage Kings circulated between heaven and earth. On the war chariot, LV Qingfeng and the others stared at Lin Xian with murderous intent in their eyes. Kid, did you think that you would end up like this? How dare you provoke our grotto heaven? I will let you know what it means to be dead. Their voices were unusually cold. Damn it, what should we do? The Crimson Dragon asked. Lin Xian gritted his teeth. If it doesn't work, I'll use Annihilation Storm multiple times. If that doesn't work, I'll go to the mysterious space at the top of the mountain and meditate there. It's all about cultivation anyway, so it doesn't matter where we are. If Lin Xian really dares to cultivate to become a sage or a Sage King, then come out and kill everyone. How dare a Sage King bully a young junior? Have you all been living like a dog all these years? A cold voice sounded between heaven and earth. Then, an endless amount of Sage King aura descended. The surrounding people from the three sacred cities were stunned. There's a Sage King? Who is it? It doesn't seem to be one of us. That's too arrogant. Sure enough, the three Sage Kings' faces were cold as their terrifying murderous intent shattered the void in front of them. In front of them, there was an extremely terrifying black vortex that swallowed all the murderous intent in the sky. Then, a group of people descended. The leader was a 16 or 17-year-old young man with delicate features. Behind him were some geniuses and experts. Who is this person? Many people were puzzled. However, there were also some people whose pupils shrank. Unparalleled Sage King. The people from Peerless City are here. Damn it, how did they get in? These people were too shocked. One had to know that the person they captured this time, Lin Xian, was from Peerless City. Logically speaking, anyone could have come, but the people from Peerless City were the least likely to come. But now, the other party had come in. Great, I'm saved. Lin Xian's lips curled into a smile. His senior brother, Unparalleled Sage King, is here. Even if I can't defeat him this time, I should have no problem leaving. Unparalleled Sage King, this kid killed the people from the grotto heaven. He can't escape death. Even you can't save him. I advise you to leave obediently and not get involved in this matter. Otherwise, you'll easily draw trouble to yourself. Soaring Sky, Saint King's cold voice resounded. The other two Saint Kings also had cold expressions. Even if you want to fight, can you defeat the three of us? Is that so? You can try. However, I can guarantee that once we start fighting, apart from the three of you, none of the people you brought along will survive. As soon as he said this, the faces of the other three turned cold. The other party was right. If a Saint King was determined to kill someone, no one would be able to escape. If they continued to fight like this, both sides would suffer great losses. Then what do you want? Sage King Huang Tian asked coldly. On the other side, the Silver Corpse Saint King's voice was ice cold. He killed many of us. Do you think I will let him go so easily? If you don't let him go, more people will die. Peerless Saint King sneered. Moreover, I don't think it's a good idea to start a fight here. You should know what kind of place this is. If we make a move here, I'm afraid that we won't be able to escape unscathed if we trigger any danger. If you want to take revenge, Sure, it won't be too late to take revenge after we get out. Now, I think it's best to discuss how to distribute the treasures in this world. Hearing this, the three of them fell silent. The others were also in an uproar. On the war chariot, LV Qingfeng and the others had cold expressions. Damn it, didn't you say you would attack? Why didn't you attack immediately? Soaring Sky Saint King's face was cold. To be honest, who were these people to dare to shout in front of him? If it wasn't for his identity as a grotto heaven, he would have killed them with a look. At this moment, he said coldly, it was different from what he said before. If the other party didn't have a Saint King, he could just attack. However, if there was a Saint King, the situation would be too complicated. Although the three of us can suppress him, we don't have 100% confidence in killing him. Because Peerless Saint King comprehended the law of devour. If we want to kill him, we have to prepare carefully. Now, we don't have any plans to deal with him. How can we kill him? If a Saint King were to escape, no holy city would be able to withstand his revenge. Hearing this, LV Qingfeng and the others had ugly expressions. They gritted their teeth. Damn it! Were they going to let that brat continue to be arrogant? He was too despicable. How could that be? Acheron Hall's silver corpse Saint King said coldly. I'll spare his life for now. Once we get out, I'll kill him without a doubt. Now, let's split the treasures first. We can't go back empty-handed. You don't want this to happen, right? Desolate Sky Saint King said coldly. LV Qingfeng and the others had ugly expressions. They realized that they were too confident. In their opinion, as long as they showed their identity as Grotto Heaven, even a Saint King would have to be respectful to them. However, that wasn't the case. Before they came in, these people might have been polite to him, but after they came in, their attitudes changed. All of them only wanted to get the treasures and didn't plan to help him take revenge. But what could they say? No matter how noble they were, they couldn't fully mobilize the 3 Saint Kings, let alone give orders. So, they could only nod helplessly. The 3 Saint Kings had a discussion, and Desolate Sky Saint King walked out. Peerless Saint King, we didn't expect you to come in, but I'm sure it's because of us that you can come in. So, you can have 10% of this world. The other 90% will belong to us. 10%? Peerless Saint King laughed. It seems that I haven't shown my strength in all these years, and some people have forgotten how powerful I am. Peerless Saint King's aura burst out, and the black laws spread out in all directions. Suddenly, the entire world darkened. Countless people were shocked. Was this the legendary devouring law? It could devour everything? It was too terrifying. Lin Xian was also shocked. Devouring law. He didn't expect Peerless Saint King to have comprehended the devouring law. One had to know that his master, Lord Alcohol, was the successor of the devouring sword. Perhaps the unparalleled Sacred King's devouring law had been taught to him by Lord Alcohol. Desolate Sky Saint King and the others felt the power of Peerless Saint King's devouring law. His strength had increased again. They were too shocked. What do you want to do? Soaring Sky Saint King asked coldly. Peerless Saint King said, looks like the 3 of you came in an alliance, so I'll treat you as one force. Peerless City is one force, and we'll have a bet. I've roughly looked around this world. There are many treasures, but there are only 3 places that are important. One is Mount Longhu, and the other is Mount Laming in the distance. The last place is a mysterious valley. These 3 places should be the places where the treasures are. So, do you dare to bet 3 rounds with me? We'll send people to fight 3 rounds, and whoever wins 1 round will choose a place. This is fair. If you lose, you can only blame yourself for not being strong enough. Chapter 41-42. Everyone was in an uproar when they heard that. They did not expect Peerless Holy King to make such a suggestion. To be honest, if the 3 holy cities worked together, would they be weaker than Peerless Holy King? Even if it was a one-on-one battle, they would have more geniuses on their side. Where did he get his confidence from? Why? You don't dare? Peerless Holy King spoke again. The 3 Saint Kings on the other side quickly discussed among themselves. What the hell was this guy doing? Could it be that he thought he could win? Let's compete with him. Could it be that we can't suppress him? The 3 Holy Kings discussed and felt that it was a good idea. After all, if they really fought, they would suffer heavy losses. They might as well use a one-on-one battle. All right, we agree. The 3 Holy Kings sneered. The people from Peerless City were also very nervous. Peerless Holy King was indeed very calm. At that moment, Lin Xian also rushed up from below. He wondered how confident Holy King was. To be honest, Peerless Holy King was very confident in winning all 3 battles. However, if they won all 3 battles, they would probably vomit blood. So, they planned to only win 2 battles. Was that so? Lin Xian also smiled. It seemed that his senior brother was very confident. He said telepathically, I've already entered Dragon Tiger Mountain and brought out all the things inside. There were also some things that could not be brought out. They probably would not be able to get them even if they went in. Peerless Holy King's eyes lit up when he heard Lin Xian's telepathic message. Great, then he would give Dragon Tiger Mountain to them. Lin Xian guessed that Dragon Tiger Mountain could only be entered if one had the purest blood of the Dragon tribe or the terrifying inheritance of the Tiger tribe. Otherwise, others would not be able to enter by force. If they did not enter, Lin Xian might be worried when he saw the Holy Kings. However, after entering and thinking about the legend of Dragon Tiger Mountain, Lin Xian guessed that if the method was wrong, even the Sage Kings could not enter. They could only watch helplessly. Therefore, there was no need for them to explore Dragon Tiger Mountain. They would take down the other two important places and think of a way to enter. All right, are you done discussing? Who will you send for the first stop? Holy King Yellow Sky asked coldly. They had also discussed and decided to bid for a sacred venerable. How could they possibly lose such a crucial battle? The Great Desolation Mansion sent out a representative. His name was Saint Sovereign. The man was carrying a lot of bags. The aura of desolation pervaded the air, making one's scalp go numb. After she walked out, she looked ahead and sneered. Chueshue, go ahead, Peerless Saint King said calmly. That's right, Linghu Chueshue also walked out. The chief disciple of the first generation? Murong Qingsheng and the others were shocked. Even Lin Xian's expression was solemn. That was because they could sense that the Samsara Sage Venerate was extremely powerful. They even guessed that it might be a late-stage Holy Venerate. Would senior brother Linghu be able to go up? The people on the other side were also stunned. Didn't they send an elder? Although Linghu Chueshue was the head disciple of the first generation and the personal disciple of the Sage King, he was still a disciple of the Sage King. But they were disciples after all. Logically speaking, such a terrifying battle should have involved some extremely terrifying elders. It seemed like Wushuang City had no one else. The people from the three holy cities sneered. Linghu Chueshue walked out. When he came out, his expression was calm without the slightest ripple. Opposite him, the reincarnation Saint Sovereign walked out with a cold smile on his face. Kid, you're no match for me. Admit defeat obediently. I can spare your life. Otherwise, I'll make sure you die a horrible death. Having said that, he snorted coldly. The aura of desolation burst out from his body. Boundless laws spread out, shattering the heavens and earth. When the surrounding people felt this power, they all sucked in a breath of cold air. So powerful. He was indeed a late-stage Holy Venerate. The three Holy Kings smirked. The Samsara Sage Venerate was not only a late-stage Holy Venerate with terrifying strength, but more importantly, his bloodline talent. He was from the Great Desolation Mansion. The Great Desolation Mansion's secret technique, Desolation Summoning, could summon people from the Desolation Canyon to assist in battle. Ordinary people could summon 3 or 4. However, the Samsara Sage Venerate could summon 6. Moreover, all 6 of them were Holy Venerates. It was equivalent to 7 against 1. No one below the Holy King realm could contend against them. Linghu Chueshue was dead for sure this time. They were not worried at all. They were already considering which of the 3 great treasure lands they should choose. The Crimson Dragon and the others gasped when they felt the aura. Lin Xian frowned. This was not the first time he had fought with the Great Desolation Mansion. He knew that their trump card was their ability to summon desolate figures. He had encountered them before. They were extremely dangerous. If this Samsara Sage Venerate could summon a few Holy Venerates, Linghu Chueshue would not stand a chance. Humph! Linghu Chueshue snorted coldly and drew his sword. There was still no biting cold aura coming from him. No one could guess what cultivation realm he was at. What top disciple? In my opinion, you're just Oso. Even if you want to show off your strength before the younger generation, you don't have the right to behave atrociously before me. The Samsara Sage Venerate sneered disdainfully. He walked forward and raised his right hand. Then, he casually slapped down. He wanted to defeat his opponent in the most relaxed manner possible. Holy shit! Was the gap between them too big? The toad and the others screamed. Lin Xian also frowned. Linghu Chueshue did not get angry when he saw this. He slashed forward with his sword. There was no sword aura coming from his sword. It was just a stab. Sigh. How pitifully stupid. How could an ant compete with a true dragon? The Samsara Sage Venerate's face became even more disdainful. However, what happened in the next moment was beyond everyone's imagination. So much so that everyone was stunned. Linghu Chueshue's sword had cut off one of the Samsara Sage Venerate's arms. Blood splattered everywhere. The Samsara sage venerate was sent flying. The surrounding people were completely stunned. Impossible! The people from the three great holy cities opened their eyes wide. The toad and the others were also stunned. Lin Xian heaved a sigh of relief. It seemed that Ling Hu Chueshue's sword technique was very unique. It was different from ordinary sword techniques. He had been too worried before. Only the unparalleled Sage King had a confident smile on his face. Ling Hu Chueshue was his top disciple. He was so strong that those idiots would not even know how they died. Damn it! The Samsara sage venerate's expression turned incomparably ugly. He had never imagined that he would suffer a loss at the hands of his opponent. Furthermore, one of his arms had been cut off. Damn it! He was a late-stage sage venerate. How powerful was he? He could not tolerate this. Chapter 41-43. Lad, you have angered me. I wanted you to suffer less, but I don't have the chance to do so now. I will use my strongest means to kill you. He was enraged. Therefore, he continued to form seals. The pouches on his back bulged as though they were connected to different worlds. At the same time, a terrifying barren world appeared behind him. The 6 pouches expanded abnormally, and 6 figures crawled out from them. Crack, crack, crack. Their bodies were deformed at first, as though they were being squeezed by space. However, when they crawled out, their bones started to make cracking sounds. The vitality of the 6 of them quickly combined. The auras on their bodies also erupted. Sacred sovereigns. All 6 of them were sacred sovereigns. The scene shocked everyone. The secret skill of the great, desolate mansion was too terrifying. How could they fight 6 sacred sovereigns at once? Moreover, the 6 sacred sovereigns were at the middle stage, and one of them was about to reach the late stage. They were too strong. In addition to the strength of the reincarnation sacred sovereign, 7 against 1 was a sure kill situation. Ha ha ha. The desolate heaven, sacred sovereign laughed proudly. The people from the other 3 sacred cities heaved a sigh of relief. They were worried when they saw the reincarnation sacred sovereign had lost an arm. Would he fail miserably? It seemed like there would be no problem now. It appeared. Lin Xian and the others looked solemn. The people from Wushuang City were also worried. Only the Wushuang sacred sovereign was still smiling. Ling Hu Chueshue's eyes flickered when he saw the scene. Is he going to use his trump card now? All right then, I'll play with you for a bit. A cold light flashed in his eyes. The long sword in his hand started to vibrate violently. He was not using the Wushuang sacred sword, but a metal sword with rust on it. However, no one dared to underestimate him. Previously, he had cut off the reincarnation sacred sovereign's arm, which showed how powerful he was. However, so what if he was powerful? Could he take on 7 of them at once? Obviously, he could not. It's useless. Stop struggling. The reincarnation sacred sovereign sneered. Since you dared to cut off my arm, I will make you wish you were dead. Go. He formed seals with his hands, and the broken arm was reattached. At the same time, the 6 sacred sovereigns in front of him made their move. In an instant, they attacked from different directions. The reincarnation sage sovereign did the same. He strode forward. This time, he would not give the other party a chance. Wong. In the face of 7 terrifying figures, Lin Fan was stunned. Ling Hu Chueshue struck out with his sword. Beheading light. At the same time, his voice was heard. Everyone was puzzled. Just as they were wondering what this meant, they suddenly realized that their vision had turned dark. It seemed that the sky had turned dark. Damn it, what's going on? Many people screamed in fear. In an instant, their bodies erupted with light, wanting to light up. However, he found that he couldn't do it at all. The surroundings were pitch black. Even Lin Xian and Morong Qingsheng felt their vision darken. It felt as if they had arrived at a mysterious space at the top of a mountain. The Crimson Dragon and the others also tried, but found that they couldn't light up their bodies either. Were they being suppressed? What kind of sword technique was this? It was Senior Brother's sword technique. Fu Hongye exclaimed. Everyone looked over, but they couldn't see anything at all. It was so dark that they couldn't even see their own fingers. The 3 sacred venerables on the other side also frowned. They tried for a while and were surprised. Something was wrong. It wasn't that they couldn't use the light, but that they couldn't see it. The three sacred kings instantly changed their minds. An extremely terrifying light erupted from their eyes, and the laws on their bodies surged out as if they had broken some kind of barrier. In the next moment, they saw that their surroundings were incomparably bright, as if thousands of suns were shining together. In order to avoid the darkness, the surrounding sages all frantically channeled their power. However, other than the sacred kings, no one else could see it. Lin Xian channeled his heavenly secret divine eyes, and mysterious patterns appeared in his golden eyes. Suddenly, he seemed to have broken some kind of restriction. In the next moment, he saw the same scene. The surrounding light was really too bright, causing him to squint his eyes. However, he found that Murong Qingcheng and the others were still a little flustered, as if they couldn't see the light at all. He grabbed Qingcheng's hand and said, "Don't be afraid, I'm here." At the same time, he transmitted his voice to Murong Qingcheng and the others, "Don't use your power anymore. The light on your bodies is already very strong. You can't see it because this sword technique has deprived you of your vision." Deprived of vision? Murong Qingcheng and the others gasped. The Crimson Dragon and the others were also stunned. It turned out that they couldn't see. What a terrifying sword technique. As expected, the 6 sacred venerables and the Samsara sacred venerables also stopped. In front of them was also pitch black. No matter how they struggled, they couldn't see anything. Dazzling light? Do you think we can't find you in the darkness? They were sacred venerables. Even without their eyes, they could still clearly see everything. Sure enough, in the next moment, they identified the direction again and charged out in the darkness. Their target was Linghu Chueshua. Linghu Chueshua's second sword fell. The sound of slashing. Whoosh. Heaven and earth seemed to have stopped. All sound was gone. It was eerily quiet. Everyone found that they couldn't even hear the sound of their own hearts. It was as if they had been thrown into an endless void. What was going on? One by one, they screamed in horror. Lin Xian's heart was also beating wildly. He found that he couldn't hear anything. He could only see the crazy looks on the faces of the people around him. The first sword took away their vision. The second sword took away their sound. Wouldn't that make them useless? They wouldn't even know that someone was attacking them, let alone find their target. Lin Xian didn't try to resolve it. It was a silent world. This was the first time he had seen such a sword technique. He wanted to experience it seriously. He knew that this should be Linghu Chueshua's ultimate skill. Not only was it related to sword techniques, but it was also related to the laws. As expected of the first disciple of Wushuang City, he was really powerful. Previously, he had seen Hongyi fight. Hongyi could use many laws. Hongyi's single move had terrified countless people. Now, it seemed that Linghu Chueshua was stronger. No wonder the Wushuang sacred venerables wanted him to fight. Damn it, the Samsara sacred venerables couldn't hear anything. He had been robbed of his vision and hearing. Damn it, they were using their souls to search for him. The Samsara sacred venerables used their souls crazily, covering the sky and earth. The 6 sacred venerables were doing the same. They were completely under the command of the Samsara sacred venerables. The soul was a very special thing. It had a special frequency that included sight and hearing. However, it was different from sight and sound. Now that everyone couldn't see or hear, they could feel that there was someone in front of them. It was a very strange feeling. However, in the next moment, they couldn't even feel Linghu Chueshua. What was going on? Did he disappear? Chapter 41-44. These people were terrified. In the endless darkness, there was no sound, and the other party had disappeared. At this moment, they felt like they were about to die. Lin Xian's eyes narrowed. This was because he realized that Linghu Chueshua was slashing at him. He could not hear what Linghu Chueshua was saying because his hearing had been cut off. Only the 4 sage kings could hear it. This sword was called sky slashing. It slashed at him, isolating him from everything. Even his soul could not detect it. It's over. The sage venerables' faces turned ugly. The Chakravarti sage venerables would be in a very passive position. Wushuang sage king smiled. They had won this battle. Indeed, After Ling Hu Chueshua slashed at him, it was as if he did not exist. He walked forward. He arrived in front of the Chakravarti sage venerables. However, the Chakravarti sage venerables did not notice him at all. He was still attacking his surroundings. Lin Xian could not hear it. His soul could not detect it. However, he could see it. Looking at this strange scene, his scalp went numb. In the next moment, he saw Ling Hu Chueshua raising his sword again. Body slashing. Poof. With one slash, the Chakravarti sage venerable's body was split into two. However, no one could hear or see it. In fact, they did not even know what had happened. The faces of the three Saint Kings turned extremely ugly. Huang Tian Sage King waved his hand and broke the barrier, saving the Chakravarti sage venerables. Wu Shuang Sage King also created a devouring vortex that floated above Ling Hu Chueshua's head. He asked, "Why? Are you trying to force your way in?" As the two Sage Kings made their moves, the endless darkness and silent world shattered. Everyone regained their sight and hearing. They were frightened. When they saw the scene in front of them, they were all dumbfounded. The Chakravarti sage venerables had been slashed into two. Moreover, the Sage Kings had come to his rescue. Oh heavens, what had happened just now? Huang Tian Sage King's face turned ugly. He gritted his teeth and said, "You guys have won this battle." There was no helping it. If the battle had continued, the Chakravarti sage venerables would have died. Everyone's scalps went numb. They had actually been defeated in this battle. Damn it, how is this possible? The people from the three great sacred cities went crazy. They had never thought that this would happen, but the people from Peerless City were cheering. That's great. They had actually won. It was too inconceivable. Toad and the others felt like they were in a dream. Even Lin Xian was incomparably shocked. Ling Hu Chueshua put his iron sword back into its scabbard and cupped his fist as he spoke. "Thank you for letting me win." With that, he turned around and walked back to Peerless Sage King's side. "Well done." Wu Shuang Holy King patted him on the back and looked around. Lu Xiang smiled. "Tell me, which treasure should we choose?" When these words came out, the bodies of the three Saint Kings opposite him trembled, and their expressions became incomparably ugly. Damn it, he actually wanted the other party to choose first. They swore that in the next two battles, they would not lose even a single time. Lin Xian had already investigated Mount Longhu, and it was said that only those with terrifying bloodlines and souls of the dragon and tiger tribes could enter. Therefore, they could not enter, and there was no need for them to enter. Peerless Sage King looked at Mount Thunder and the mysterious valley in the distance. He had not seen through the valley yet, so he decided to choose Mount Thunder first. He said, "All right, we'll choose Mount Thunder." On the opposite side, the three Saint Kings snorted coldly and did not say anything. Peerless Sage King said, "Then we'll investigate Mount Thunder first." He created a clone and brought Lin Xian and the others to fly into the distance. Meanwhile, his original body remained here. He had to watch over the three saint cities. Otherwise, what would they do if these people were to cause trouble? Mount Thunder was different from Mount Longhu. Mount Longhu looked calm on the surface, but there was a terrifying pressure pressing down on them. However, if they did not trigger the final apocalyptic storm, their lives would not be in great danger. However, Mount Thunder was different. There were signs of destruction everywhere. Even getting close to it would make one feel extremely uncomfortable, let alone stepping on it. Those who were slightly weaker would be courting death. Such a violent aura. It was suitable for refining weapons and cultivating the law of lightning. All right, all of you go ahead and try. Refining weapons and cultivating the law of lightning here would be 10 times faster than outside. Take advantage of this opportunity. Lin Xian and the others' eyes lit up. This was equivalent to shortening their cultivation time by a few hundred years. It was simply something that could only be found by chance. Ling Hu Chueshua and the others were also tempted. These people did not hesitate and rushed up Mount Thunder. Suddenly, endless lightning erupted from Mount Thunder and descended. For a moment, all kinds of wails were heard. However, these people were all experts. Although they were struck by lightning, they could withstand it. Let's spread out. Otherwise, we'll be too big of a target. Ling Hu Chueshua said. Everyone spread out and Lin Xian and the others rushed up from a mountain path. No matter what magical treasures you have, hurry up and take them out for cultivation. As Lin Xian spoke, he took out quite a number of items for cultivation. Murong Qingqing, Crimson Dragon, and the toad did not hold back. Even Whitey jumped in, gritting its teeth. However, they knew that this was a great opportunity. On the other side, Linghu Chueshue, Fu Hongye, and the elders were also attacking with all their might. Even Peerless Holy King's clone narrowed his eyes. He formed a seal with his palms, forming a devouring vortex above Mount Thunder, and began to absorb the power of Mount Thunder. At the same time, a vortex also appeared above Peerless Holy King's body in the distance. Endless lightning fell from it, enveloping him. It was terrifying. The people of the 3 holy cities retreated. The aura of the lightning terrified them. At the same time, they were extremely envious. This was a cultivation speed that was dozens of times faster and shortened by a few hundred years. Just like that, they could only watch in front of their eyes. The 3 holy kings gritted their teeth, but there was nothing they could do. There were still 2 more treasured lands that they had to conquer. This vortex was really terrifying. It directly transferred the lightning of Mount Thunder far away, allowing Peerless Holy King's body to cultivate. He even took out the Peerless Holy Sword and began to refine it. Lin Xian did not use any laws. Instead, he walked directly in the sea of lightning. When the lightning struck his body, it made a loud clanging sound. He was also multitasking, creating multiple doppelgangers. Some of them were specifically looking at the holy weapon and refining it. Lin Xian took out the Great Destruction Spear and began to refine it. Another doppelganger took out the Great Holy Tower and began to collect the aura of the destructive lightning. This was because this was one of the materials to create the Destruction Sword Tomb. The Destruction Sword Tomb required special metals, as well as violent and destructive aura. Now, the lightning of Mount Thunder was a violent force. Following this, he only needed to find some special materials to refine the Destruction Sword Tomb. It was not over yet. Lin Xian even let the Great Dragon Sword Soul go deep into Mount Thunder to absorb the energy. Every time the Great Dragon Sword Soul leveled up, the energy it needed was much more than before. It was more than 10 times. Lin Xian felt like it was a bottomless pit. So now that there was such violent lightning energy, how could he let it go? He sat there, letting the sea of lightning refine his body while he comprehended the laws of lightning. Chapter 41-45. The people from the 3 holy lands gnashed their teeth in anger as they watched the events unfold. Soaring Sky Sage King snorted. It had been a few days. How long were they going to take? He was really pissed. Peerless Sage King said that it would take at least a decade or so. Damn it, do you want to die? Desolate Sky Sage King roared. Silver Corpse Sage King also looked unfriendly. A decade or so? What a joke. They did not have the time to wait. 3 months at most. All right, 3 months it was. Peerless Sage King nodded. They continued to cultivate. After more than a month, Peerless Sage King was shocked. Oh my heavens, who is this? He's so terrifying. His devouring law was already very fast when it came to devouring lightning. However, he realized that there was someone in Thunder Rolling Mountain who was even faster than him. That person had devoured more lightning than him. Was he not afraid of dying? After probing for a bit, he revealed a bitter smile. It turned out that he had found out that it was Lin Xian. To be exact, it was Lin Xian's Dragon Sword Soul. The Dragon Sword Soul was like a bottomless pit. Its speed shocked Peerless Sage King. However, Peerless Sage King knew about the existence of the Dragon Sword Soul. That was why he exclaimed. It was indeed a legendary offensive saint technique, one of the 5 swords of the world. It was not easy to support it. As expected, Thunder Rolling Mountain could not take it anymore. It did not take 3 months, but 2 months and 3 days. Thunder Rolling Mountain exploded with a burst of energy, sending everyone flying. What was going on? The elders of Peerless City screamed. Fu Hongye, Linghu Chueshue, Murong Qingqing, and the others were also very confused. Damn it! Toad and Crimson Dragon screamed. Only Lin Xian had a strange expression on his face. The great dragon sword spirit had already returned to his body. The aura on it was much more violent than before. This showed that his strength had increased a lot. However, he felt that the dragon sword soul had devoured too much lightning, so much so that Thunder Rolling Mountain could not take it anymore. This was a world left behind by a supreme being 80,000 years ago. Thunder Rolling Mountain must be an incredible place. Even so, it could not withstand it. I don't know. If the great dragon sword soul was allowed to absorb limitless amounts of energy, how terrifying would it become? It would probably suck the entire Thunder Rolling Mountain dry. In the distance, the people from the 3 holy cities were also stunned. Was it over? They didn't know what the reason was, but it would be great if it could end early. Let the second battle begin. They could not wait any longer. He would never allow the other party to be complacent again. This time, the 3 Saint Kings had already discussed. They wanted Peerless City to send people first. They already had many countermeasures. No matter who Peerless City sent this time, they would be able to contend against them. Lin Xian and the others had also returned. Master, what should we do next? Ling Hu Chueshue asked. That's right. Those elders are also discussing spiritedly. Why don't we let Hongyi go up? Or should I say, us old fellows go up and fight? Said Saint Wu Shuang. He wasn't in a hurry. He looked at the people in front of him. Ling Hu Chueshue and the others turned around and saw that the people from the 3 holy cities were gnashing their teeth. This was especially true for the 3 great Saint Kings, whose eyes were all filled with a sharp glint. They knew that the next battle would definitely be more difficult and dangerous. Saint Wushuang said, I guess they have been thinking about who to send for the battle for the past 2 months. So, I'm afraid they have already prepared a foolproof plan for us. So, I'm going to make a risky move this time. It's also a good move. It seemed that the Saint King had already made his decision. Who should they send? Asked the elders from Peerless City. Saint Wu Shuang smiled and looked at Lin Xian, patting his shoulder. You'll be the one to fight this time. What? Lin Xian was stunned. Ling Hu Chueshue was also stunned. Even those elders were stunned. Saint King, this was not a game. Although Lin Xian was a young genius and his future was limitless, he was still young. If he were to fight, the other party would send a powerful Saint King. There was no chance of winning. As expected, even Lin Xian's mouth twitched. He said, I'm not suitable. Saint Wu Shuang shook his head. You're the most suitable. Because as long as you fight, those terrifying Saint Kings will not have a chance to attack. As soon as he said that, the crowd started discussing. Lin Xian was also stunned. But in the next moment, he seemed to have thought of something. Are you talking about the people from the Grotto Heaven? That's right. Saint Wu Shuang nodded. Those people from the Grotto Heaven are gnashing their teeth at you. In order to kill you, they didn't even hesitate to expose this small world and let the other saint cities have a share of the pie. You can imagine how strong their killing intent is. If you fight now, those people from the Grotto Heaven will definitely attack. At that time, the 3 saint cities won't have a chance to attack. No matter how powerful those people are, they have not become Saint Kings. You're not confident in fighting them? As soon as he said that, the crowd's eyes lit up. He was confident. He was too confident. Even if the people from the Grotto Heaven had an extraordinary background and had many cards in their hands, it was still better than facing a group of Saint Kings. In this way, their chances of winning would be much higher. Lin Xian thought for a while and said, Sure. At this moment, Saint Huangtian walked out and said coldly, All right, hurry up and decide. Who are you going to send this time? Saint Wu Shuang said indifferently after he had decided. Then, he patted Lin Xian's shoulder. This time, it's up to you to take down that mysterious valley. Lin Xian took a deep breath and walked forward. Wushuang City, Lin Xian, I'm here to spar with you. I wonder who will be fighting with me? The surroundings became silent in an instant, but soon, they started screaming crazily. What? Lin Wudi? What a joke. Is Wushuang City crazy? Could it be that they're plotting something? That's impossible. This guy's plotting something. So what? Could it be that he has a Saint King weapon? Damn it, he has one. But we don't? Screams and discussions could be heard. The 3 Saint Kings were also stunned. But soon, they sneered. It seemed that Wushuang City had become arrogant after the previous battle. This time, they were courting death. Are you sure? Saint Fei Tian asked with a smile. Of course, he was sure. Lin Xian said in a sonorous voice. He said that since he was here, he couldn't go back on his words. He didn't expect to win this battle so easily. Saint Fei Tian smiled. The other two Saint Kings were the same. They didn't have to be nervous facing their opponent. Any Saint King could probably kill him easily. But before they could say anything, a ray of light flew out from the war chariot and charged into the battlefield. Kid, I'm here to kill you. Damn, what's going on? The three Saint Kings were stunned. The people from the three Saint cities were also stunned. Who the hell is that? How dare he charge into the battlefield at this time? Isn't he courting death? But when they saw that it was LV Qingfeng who charged into the battlefield, they were all shocked. The three Saint Kings' faces darkened. Chapter 41-46. Young Master Lu, what are you doing? Come back quickly. Soaring Sage King said coldly. LV Qingfeng said, I want to kill him with my own hands. This is my only chance. The inaction of the three holy cities had made LV Qingfeng and the others realize that they wanted to order the three holy cities around. It was impossible. They might not even be able to kill him. Moreover, they were inviting a wolf into their house. But now, this Lin Xian actually didn't know what was good for him and jumped out of his own accord. This was his best chance to kill him. Although Lin Xian had killed one of their people last time, it was done by the World Annihilation Wind and not his true strength. Now that they were not fighting on Dragon Tiger Mountain, he did not believe that he could not kill Lin Xian with his own strength. After all, he was a genius from the Grotto Heaven. The three Sage Kings' faces were cold and they wanted to say something. LV Qingfeng said, Seniors, don't you believe me? Are you doubting the strength of the Grotto Heaven? The three Sage Kings frowned even more. Soaring Sage King smiled and said, Why would we doubt the Grotto Heaven? It was just that this matter was too important. You should have at least discussed it with us before this. Desolate Sage King said coldly. Peerless Sage King smiled and said, Why? You've already decided. Do you want to go back on your words? You don't have a chance. The battle could only be between the two of them. Otherwise, it would be considered as your side admitting defeat. Damn it. The three Sage Kings gritted their teeth. LV Qingfeng smiled and said, Don't worry, I won't lose. I'll kill him with my own hands. Next, you guys just have to watch me and see how strong the Grotto Heaven is. At this point, Lu Qingfeng no longer paid any attention to the three great saint rulers. Instead, he turned his head and stared at Lin Xian. Kid, I'll make you despair. After saying that, a shocking great Tao Law burst out from his body. A terrifying aura swept across the land. Feeling the fluctuation of the great Tao Law, the surrounding people's faces changed drastically. Peak of the small saint realm. He was very close to a sacred venerable. This is the genius of the Grotto Heaven? He did not look strong, but he was even stronger than the top geniuses of the sage cities. You set a trap for us on Dragon Tiger Mountain. Do you really think I'm weaker than you? Today, I will let you die knowing why. After displaying his powerful strength, LV Qingfeng also became incomparably confident. In the distance, Murong Qingcheng frowned. He had to admit that the people from the paradise were extremely strong. They were not to be underestimated. Humph, a Grotto Heaven expert? Very well, let me have a taste of it. Lin Xian was the same. Boundless golden light blossomed from his body. At the same time, the Nine Suns' divine flame in his hand turned into a law and pulsated violently. Boom! Lin Xian turned into a streak of red light and rushed out. What incredible speed! The people of the sacred city screamed. Lu Qingfeng's pupils constricted. His opponent was stronger than he had imagined. But so what? The other party's cultivation was much lower than hers. Killing the other party was as easy as flipping his hand. He formed a seal with his palm. He raised his right hand high, and boundless laws condensed and fell directly. Tianxiong seal. This was a powerful mystique. His palm seemed to have fused with the sky, and the power was limitless. When the palm fell, the sky directly covered it. The terrifying power it contained caused some of the experts in the holy city to suck in a breath of cold air. Was this the power of a grotto heaven expert? It was too terrifying. They felt that this mystique was even more exquisite than the one in the sacred city. What kind of existence was the grotto heaven? Was it above the sacred city? The surrounding saints and experts were puzzled. Even Linghu Chueshue and the others did not understand. Perhaps the only ones who knew about the existence of the grotto heaven were the sacred kings. The three sacred kings' faces were cold, but their expressions eased a lot. They had to admit that the power that LV Qingfeng had displayed so far surprised them. It also made them breathe a sigh of relief. With such power, it should not be a problem to kill Lin Wudi. Only Peerless Sacred King frowned slightly. He whispered to himself, "Is the grotto heaven here again?" However, this time, these people appeared much earlier than expected. Boom! Facing the Tianqiong seal, Lin Xian's nerves were also incomparably solemn. Naturally, he could feel how terrifying this attack was. Therefore, he did not dare to be careless. With a roar, he waved his fist, and it turned into countless suns, shooting straight into the sky. Boom! Boom! The two collided, and the sky trembled, and the suns exploded. A berserk law and power swept out in all directions. Boom! Boom! It was as if a sacred king was about to destroy the world. Countless people stared at it. Under everyone's gaze, a figure retreated. It was Lin Wudi. He was actually pushed back. That's great. He was no match for the grotto heaven. Countless screams sounded. Sure enough, the one who retreated was Lin Xian. He was only pushed back by the force, but he was not injured. However, it was already very unbelievable to the crowd. Someone among the young people had finally suppressed Lin Wudi. In the sky, LV Qingfeng stood there, raising his hand to the sky, and revealed a sinister smile. "I have to say, you really surprised me. I originally thought that this move would be able to smash you into pieces, but I didn't expect that I would only be pushed back." Indeed, he was too surprised. One should know that he was a peak minor saint, which was even more terrifying than a late minor saint, while his opponent was only a mid-minor saint. There was a difference of 2 realms between them, which was at least 1,000 years of cultivation gap. However, his opponent was only pushed back and was not injured. This made him a little surprised. However, so what? That attack earlier should have been the full strength of the other party's attack, and he was just testing the waters just now, so it would be easy for him to kill his opponent next. Not bad. You have some strength. To be able to push me back, you are indeed a peak minor saint. Lin Xian nodded slightly. He revealed a smile. You have successfully aroused my interest. You are courting death, yet you still dare to boast like this. Let me send you on your way. LV Qingfeng smiled. He was a genius of the grotto heaven. With his current strength, he did not believe that anyone below the saint realm could defeat him. All right, it's all over. Go to hell and kowtow to my companions and admit your wrongdoings. LV Qingfeng raised his hand again and merged with the sky. This time, the power was stronger than before. Obviously, he did not use his full strength before. This scene once again made the surrounding experts of the sacred city scream. He's too strong. He was so strong that it was beyond their expectations. Now, they were eager to know what kind of place the grotto heaven was. Die. Tianqiong's gigantic palm slapped down once more. The terrifying laws annihilated Lin Xian completely. Buzz. Facing an even more violent attack. Lin Xian took a deep breath, and a terrifying light burst out from his eyes. At the same time, countless sword chi appeared in his hand, and the law of swords spread out in all directions. The sun sword was formed by him. Chapter 41-47. The terrifying sun sword light shot into the sky and collided with the firmament hand again. This time, the storm was even more terrifying. The time it lasted was also longer than before. However, the situation this time was different. The firmament hand pressed down, and the surroundings were gloomy and dark, making it impossible to see the light. However, this time, the firmament hand was split open, and a dazzling golden light shone brighter and brighter, illuminating the entire world. Boom, boom, boom. Not good. Was it broken? The people of Sacred City were shocked. Murong Qingsheng and the others smiled. In the sky, the firmament hand was indeed pierced, and the crack was getting bigger and bigger. The remaining biting cold aura on it could not be healed in a short time. Blood dripped down from the sky. The palm was directly shattered. Was it broken? Countless screams sounded, and on the war chariot, the expressions of the other three figures from the grotto heaven also changed. That was impossible. They knew LV Qingfeng's strength. How could that kid hurt LV Qingfeng? The people from the grotto heaven were not that strong. If there were no other means, then I'll send you on your way. Lin Xian's cold voice sounded. On the opposite side, endless laws filled the air, and a figure appeared. LV Qingfeng's face became extremely gloomy. He really did not expect that the other party could break his firmament handprint. Kid, don't be so smug. I guess you must have used a secret technique. How long can you last in this state? I was just careless just now. I will definitely not be hurt again. And you will be trampled under my feet. The aura on LV Qingfeng's body surged more and more, and his palms kept forming seals. It seems that you are also a fire elemental martial artist. Today, I will show you what a real divine fire is. Sun God Fist. A scorching hot law surged from his body and swept between heaven and earth. Then, the shadow of a sun seemed to appear behind him. It burned fiercely. The light and flames were so bright that it was impossible to open one's eyes. Oh heavens, the Sun God Fist. Was this the grotto heaven's ultimate technique? The people of Sacred City screamed in horror. The people of Peerless City also changed their expressions. Oh no, they felt the terrifying aura on this superpower. Sun God Fist. Lin Xian had a strange expression on his face. It was very similar to his 9 sons' divine fist. It was also incomparably violent and scorching hot. His opponent actually knew such a divine ability as well? He had to admit that this was beyond his expectations. Was this the strength of a grotto heaven? No wonder he dared to say that he was above the holy city. He sneered. The 9 young divine fire on Lin Xian's body jumped. Very well, let's see if your Sun God Fist is stronger or if my 9 young divine fist is stronger. Divine fire and precepts bloomed with radiance. The 9 young divine body was displayed to the extreme. Lin Xian was like a golden god of war, illuminating the world. It was useless. How could a firefly compete with the bright moon? In the sky, Lu Qingfeng sneered. He waved his fist and smashed down with the sun. Boundless sunlight shone down, piercing through heaven and earth. It was so strong that it had even surpassed the limit of a little saint. Wang. Below them, Lin Xian was also swinging his fists. His fists were wide open and had the power to destroy the world. Boom. Their divine abilities finally collided in the sky. Both of them had the power of the purest yang. The sky was torn apart like a painting. Endless space cracks danced wildly between heaven and earth. The people in the distance all retreated. They raised their heads, their faces full of shock. Was it really just a fight between 2 young little saints? I'm afraid that even the top little saints of the older generation would die without a doubt. Boom, boom. In just a blink of an eye, after the first exchange, the 2 collided thousands of times. The sky was completely destroyed. Their strength was too strong, and their speed was very fast. Both of them were evenly matched. The people of the 3 holy cities were shocked. It was really incredible that there was someone among the young people who could fight Lin Wudi in close combat. The Sun God Fist was indeed terrifying. On the other side, on the chariot, the 3 people of the grotto heaven were also shocked. This was impossible. Once their grotto heaven's divine ability was used, they could easily beat the people of the star boundary. However, he found that Lu Qingfeng couldn't do anything to the other party at all. Damn it, this kid has grown to such an extent? The Saint Venerables of the 3 holy cities looked gloomy. Even the 3 Saint Kings had a trace of killing intent in their eyes. If this person wasn't eliminated, he would be a big trouble in the future. On the other hand, Fu Hongya of Wushuang City looked at this scene and laughed. Junior brother Lin's strength is much stronger than the last time I saw him. It seems that he has been advancing by leaps and bounds these days. At this rate, it's hard to say who will win and who will lose. The elders of Wushuang City were also a little worried. Not bad. I didn't expect your son Godfist to be so powerful. There are not many who can fight with me in close combat, Lin Xian said with a smile while waving his fist. On the other hand, Lu Qingfeng was really mad. Did he need the other party's approval? What a joke. Kid, don't be so arrogant. The effect of your drug has arrived. You can't be so strong forever. However, after another 10,000 moves, he found that it was useless. His opponent was still incomparably strong. Damn it! The sun shone in the sky. He soared into the sky and launched his divine ability. The phantom of the sun behind him suddenly burst into light, becoming incomparably bright. My eyes! Someone from the holy city below screamed miserably, his eyes bleeding. The other people also had their eyes hurt. Damn it! Obviously, the other party had used a divine ability. This was not an ordinary light, but a light that could interfere with one's vision. Even holy venerables had to temporarily avoid the light at this moment. Only holy kings were unaffected. Lin Xian also closed his eyes. Haha, die. Seeing this scene, Lu Qingfeng laughed sinisterly. His fists were like two small suns as they fiercely smashed onto Lin Xian's body. With a bang, heaven and earth exploded. It was over. On the side of the three holy cities, some of the top holy venerables smiled. They were powerful and could see through the light. At this moment, they saw Lin Xian being hit by such a terrifying attack. Even if he didn't die, he would be seriously injured. Really? That's great. The people of the three holy cities still had their eyes closed. However, when they heard their elders say that, they knew that this battle was over. No way, right? Did Lin Xian lose? The people of Wushuang City were shocked. Wushuang Holy King smiled and said, "Don't worry, it's not over yet." As his voice fell, between heaven and earth, a ray of light streaked across. Lin Xian appeared in another place. His strength is not bad, but it's impossible for him to kill me. What? He didn't die. He dodged. Lu Qingfeng was stunned. The smile on his face was firm. On the war chariot, the three geniuses of the Grotto Heaven also screamed. Impossible. When did he dodge? Why didn't they know? Chapter 41-48. Next, you'll have a taste of my fist. 9 suns opened the sky. Lin Xian roared angrily. He waved his right fist and punched out. Turning into a stream of light, he tore open the void that was all over the sky. He instantly arrived in front of the other party and punched him. Boom! The sound of the ground shaking could be heard, and the entire world shook. Under everyone's shocked gazes, a figure was sent flying backward. Endless cracks appeared on LV Qingfeng's body. His arms became twisted and were directly broken. Not only that, when he was retreating, he exploded and turned into a bloody mist. A miserable cry was heard, and everyone could not believe it. Injured, LV Qingfeng was actually injured. That was someone from the Grotto Heaven. The 3 young people on the war chariot should have screamed. They seemed to be having a nightmare. What kind of fist technique did the other party use? Buzz. Lin Xian stomped his foot and charged out again. He waved the 9 suns' divine fist again. This time, he punched out millions of fist shadows and enveloped the other party. Boom, boom, boom. LV Qingfeng was blasted into the ground. The ground was shattered, forming a bottomless pit. The people from the 3 holy cities were staring with their eyes almost popping out. Did he kill him directly? This kid killed someone from the Grotto Heaven. They could not believe it. The people from Peerless City were also stunned. It was not a problem to defeat the Grotto Heaven, but to kill the Grotto Heaven. There would probably be a storm coming. Lin Xian's lips curled into a smile. It should be settled, right? However, when he was about to turn around and leave, he frowned slightly. In the next moment, he turned his head. Golden light bloomed in his eyes as he stared at the abyss below. He's not dead yet? The 3 holy kings also snorted coldly, and their gloomy expressions eased a little. A sinister voice sounded between heaven and earth. Kid, you're the first to force me to this point. I've decided that I won't kill you. I'll capture you and bring you back. I'll torture you every moment. Along with these vicious words, an endless storm blew in the abyss below. The resplendent laws illuminated a corner of the world. LV Qingfeng flew out. He was in an abnormally sorry state. His body was in tatters and covered in blood. However, at this moment, he was rapidly recovering. There were 16 dark cyan pillars around him. Great Tao was carved on it, and it was exceptionally terrifying. The 16 wind demon pillars joined together to form an absolute defense. Thinking about it, the Nine Suns' divine fist was blocked by this thing before. He had even used the Wind Demon clan? On the war chariot, the people of the paradise were shocked beyond words. Had LV Qingfeng been forced to this point? They found it hard to imagine. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes and sized up the wind demon pillar. Then, he shook his head slightly. You really don't have a good memory. Although you managed to escape with your life just now, you're already at death's door. Do you think you can still pose a threat to me? Now you still dare to say such harsh words. Aren't you afraid that I'll really kill you? Lin Xian's eyes shone with a terrifying light. Hee. Ha 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 ha. LV Qingfeng sneered at first. Then he looked up to the sky and laughed wildly. In the next moment, the power in his body erupted once again. He was even more powerful than before. This scene shocked countless people. What's going on? Did he break through? The elders of Wushuang City were stunned. Linghu Chueshue and the others were also frowning. Could it be that at the moment of death, he had broken and then stood up again? Damn, what a tough nut to crack. The Crimson Dragon and the others were also gritting their teeth. The people of the 3 sacred cities were also in an uproar. The peerless sacred king snorted coldly. Breaking and then standing up again? They thought too highly of him. He had only swallowed some pills. He had only used some secret techniques. It was not elegant. So it was because he had swallowed some pills. The people of Wushuang City heaved a sigh of relief. However, Murong Qingcheng was still nervous. Although it was not a breakthrough in cultivation, his strength had obviously increased. She whispered to herself, Brother Xian should be fine, right? She guessed that Lin Xian should be holding back. After all, he had only used his divine body so far. With Lin Xian's means, he still had many trump cards that he had not used. Therefore, Murong Qingcheng was not particularly worried. LV Qingfeng did not know. He thought that this was Lin Xian's limit. Therefore, he said, Kid, you can go to hell now. Demonic wind steel. LV Qingfeng's palms kept forming seals. His devilish smile was still stained with blood. As his bloodline was activated, the 16 demonic wind pillars kept moving. Then, they turned into 16 demonic wind steels and pressed down on Lin Xian. It was as if they wanted to completely suppress Lin Xian. Sensing the power in the sky, Lin Xian furrowed his brows. His opponent's strength had become stronger than before. It seemed that he had used some tricks. What a troublesome guy. He snorted coldly and used his fists and legs again. He relied on the power of his divine body to resist. Heaven and earth exploded. The 6 demonic wind steels kept shaking. However, it did not stop them from coming over. They were still charging towards Lin Xian. Buzz. Lin Xian used the divine body of Nine Yang and sent out 36 golden crows. They rushed between heaven and earth to resist the 16 demonic wind pillars. Boom, 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 boom. Those golden crows were each bigger than a mountain. His wings spread out, bringing with them boundless power. The demonic wind pillars were blocked. That's great. The Crimson Dragon and the others heaved a sigh of relief. The people of the 3 holy cities were shocked. LV Qingfeng was the same. Damn it, you still have the possibility of increasing your strength. Could it be that you are not using your full strength? Haha, I will finish you off directly this time. He was furious. After fighting for so long, he still could not take down his opponent. Instead, he was in a very sorry state. He wanted to kill him. Go to hell. Demonic Wind Quartet. LV Qingfeng roared crazily. The bloodline in his body kept surging. Some of it even cracked. His hands were a blur. However, one imprint after another was pressed into the void. The 16 demonic wind pillars kept shaking. They were connected together and made cracking sounds. Those cracking sounds were very regular. It was like the sound of the ancient heavens. Not good, retreat. Countless holy venerables screamed. It was obviously a killing move. With the power of the 16 demonic wind pillars and the mysterious rhythm, it was enough to destroy everything. No way. He actually used such a thing. The expressions of the three people on the war chariot changed drastically. That was a forbidden bloodline. Once it was used, the power of the bloodline would not be able to be used again for 10 years. Moreover, LV Qingfeng would be seriously injured. He was going all out. However, they soon smiled. This way, the other party would definitely die. It could be considered as revenge. Boom, boom. The sound of the 16 demonic wind steels shattering one after another formed a demonic sound that directly enveloped Lin Xian. That place was completely reduced to nothingness. Chapter 41-49. It can't be. Is that kid all right? The Crimson Dragon and the others were extremely nervous. Fu Hongye and the other elders from Wushuang City also had their hearts in their mouths. The three saint cities were cheering. Among them, Desolate Heaven Saint King walked out and said, "All right, this battle is over. Let's see who wins. Next, it's time for us to choose the treasure." Damn it. The people of Wushuang City had an ugly expression. Did they lose? Moreover, Lin Xian's life might be in danger. Wushuang Saint King laughed. Aren't you being too impatient? Who told you that the battle is over? What? Could it be that you think that Brat can still make a comeback? Soaring Heaven Saint King shook his head. Can't you stop dreaming? Can't you see for yourselves whether you're dreaming or not? Wushuang Saint King harumphed coldly. Have you guys lost your sense of observation? Hearing this, the three Saint Kings' faces turned gloomy. Could it be that there's really a possibility of a comeback? To be honest, they did not check it out because they thought that a minor saint would not be able to withstand such a destructive attack. But now, no matter what Wushuang Saint King said, they all looked at him. Their eyes were filled with awe, as if they could see through everything. The three sage rulers did not believe it at first. However, they were stunned when they saw it. Their expressions became incomparably ugly. What's going on? The surrounding people were shocked. Could it be that the kid is still alive? Impossible. The three of them shook their heads frantically. How could he not die after being hit by the fourfold tune of the Wind Devil? His soul would definitely scatter. Whoosh! The energy between heaven and earth slowly dissipated, and the storm gradually calmed down. Everyone stretched their necks and looked carefully. They saw a black and white light floating in the broken void. The smile on Lu Qingfeng's face froze again. His eyes widened. How could it be? There's still something here? What's that? With a wave of his hand, he tore the void apart. The storm that filled the sky also disappeared. Everyone finally saw that it was a yin-yang diagram that kept spinning. There's a person inside. Is that Lin Wudi? Everyone screamed. They found that it was true. Lin Xian's Tai Chi diagram had blocked the destructive attack. He's fine. He's really fine. Countless people screamed. The faces of the three Saint Kings turned completely ugly. Lu Qingfeng gritted his teeth. This was impossible. He had expended a great deal of his bloodline, so much so that he would not be able to use it again for the next 10 years. Logically speaking, none of the little saints had survived. He was even confident that he could use this move to fight against holy sovereigns. The other party was just a mid-minor saint. He would definitely die. But now, the other party had survived and was only slightly injured. This was his final trump card, which could kill the other party. He originally did not want to use this thing because such a precious saint artifact was not something he could own. This time, the Grotto Heaven gave it to him as a life-saving measure. He would not use it unless he had no other choice. But now, this was his last chance. He was going to use the Black Sky Sword to kill the other party. Buzz. After swallowing a large number of pills, LV Qingfeng's body regained its strength. He reached out and grabbed the small black sword. The sword trembled, and a terrifying force burst out. The surroundings instantly turned dark. It was different from the darkness caused by Linghu Chueshuebu before. It robbed one's vision. Now it was real. The sky was dyed black. Boom. Crack. The black sky rumbled, and there seemed to be terrifying sword shadows circling there. Black Sky Slash. LV Qingfeng roared and activated the black sky sword with all his strength. The black sky suddenly rotated and turned into a giant black sword, slashing down from the sky. Boom. The world shattered again. This attack was even more terrifying than the 4 revolutions of Wind Demon. Lin Xian unleashed countless golden crows, which spun between heaven and earth to contend with the attack. At the same time, the Tai Chi diagram kept erupting, unleashing yin and yang sword chi that rampaged between heaven and earth. It collided with the black sword shadows. It's useless. The black sky sword is not something you can resist. The black sky sword fell, destroying everything. The golden crows were torn apart, and the sword chi was also bounced away. Ant, don't try to resist. This is a supreme power. LV Qingfeng was disdainful. Chapter 4150. It was too strong. The people of the 3 holy cities were trembling. Those holy venerables' eyes were red. If only they had such a weapon. Their eyes were burning. Wushuang City's side was filled with exclamations. Damn it! Did the advantage they had disappear again? The Crimson Dragon and the others were indeed laughing. Competing with them with sacred weapons? What a joke. We'll torture you to death. Kid, hurry up and use your trump card. Take out the Great Sage Pagoda and smash him to death. Use the Great Spear of Destruction to pierce him to death. The 2 toads were making a big fuss. Murong Qingqing also revealed a smile. She knew that the outcome of this battle had been decided. Lin Xian's eyes flickered. Black Sky Sword? It was indeed powerful. The previous attack was, of course, to test the power of the sacred weapon. Now, he had already deduced that it was very strong. It was a Sun-class divine weapon, but it had not reached the level of a holy king's weapon. Since the other party was courting death, he would fulfill his wish. He was prepared to use the Great Spear of Destruction. With a cold snort, a black spear slowly appeared in Lin Xian's hand. The demonic aura on it swept through the 9 heavens. At this moment, the world was dark and gloomy. Violent sword energy flickered. Everyone retreated into the distance, trembling. They deduced that Lin Xian was dead for sure. At this moment, many people screamed. What kind of aura was this? They felt that there was an even more terrifying power erupting above the 9 heavens. It was even more terrifying than the black sky sword from before. Could it be that the power of the black sky sword had increased? Countless people screamed. There was no suspense about the outcome of the battle. In the sky, Lu Qingfeng was so scared that his hair stood on end. What was going on? His body began to tremble. He originally thought that the other party was dead for sure. However, a black spear had appeared in the other party's hand. The aura emitted from it terrified him. Even the black sky sword was trembling slightly, as if it was being suppressed. Impossible. The black sky sword was already very terrifying. It was a Sun-class sacred weapon that only peak holy venerables were qualified to use. However, it was trembling at this moment. Damn it! What was in the other party's hand? Could it be a sacred weapon that surpassed the holy venerables? Was it a holy king's weapon? He did not dare to imagine. Do you think you can act all high and mighty just because you're from the heavenly abode? Do you think that we are ants just because your grotto heavens are powerful? Today, I'll let you see my foundation. Lin Xian gripped the spear of great destruction and fiercely swung it forward. Boundless demonic energy erupted, destroying everything in its path. Boom! Heaven and earth were completely blown apart. A terrifying storm swept out, making it impossible for the surrounding people to investigate. Even those Saint Venerables could not use their souls to watch the battle. They had no choice but to wait. The Great Destruction Spear. Just from its name, one could tell that it contained an extremely strong destructive power. Everything in its path was reduced to ashes. The smiles that originally hung on the faces of the three great sage kings suddenly disappeared. No, this aura. They could sense that the aura of the Black Heaven Sword was disappearing, and LV Qingfeng's aura was becoming faintly discernible. What's going on? They opened their eyes, and their gazes penetrated everything once again. Damn it, what is that thing? This was not the power of the Black Sky Sword. The three great sage kings were once again incomparably shocked. When they wanted to take a closer look, they realized that the thing had already disappeared. The sky was torn apart, and a figure slid down to the side of peerless Sage King. Lin Xian said, "Fortunately, I did not disappoint you. I won this battle." The surrounding people were all stunned. The people of the three great sage cities could not believe it. Wasn't it supposed to be an earth-shattering battle? Wasn't Lin Wudi definitely going to die? Why did the other party come down now? Where was LV Qingfeng? The three people from the Grotto Heavens were also dumbfounded. What was going on with the Sage King? At this moment, everyone was stunned. Soaring Sage King waved his hand, and a biting cold green saber light streaked across the sky, directly cutting the storm apart. Silver Corpse Sage King shot out a yellow springs diagram, wrapped the broken corpse and brought it down. He sighed. He was dead. His heart and soul were destroyed, and there was no way to revive him. Dead. Everyone was stunned. That was LV Qingfeng's corpse. Was LV Qingfeng dead? What was going on? None of this was real. The three people from the Grotto Heavens went crazy. Didn't LV Qingfeng take out the Black Sky Sword? Didn't he win? Why was LV Qingfeng dead now? Was that kid all right? Damn it. Where was the Black Sky Sword? What happened? Buzz. In the sky, a small black sword fell down. It was the Black Sky Sword. Many people's eyes turned red when they saw this scene. Some people even stretched out their hands, wanting to grab it. In the end, they did not succeed. The Black Sky Sword first flew to LV Qingfeng's corpse, circled around it, and then flew to the war chariot. It fell into the hands of the lady in green from the Grotto Heavens. Many sacred venerables sighed. This weapon was second only to the Sage King's weapon. If they could obtain it, their strength would change drastically. In the future, it might even evolve into a Sage King's weapon. But this sword had a spirit. If they tried to snatch it, they would probably trigger the weapon spirit within, and it would explode with power. Soaring Sage King looked at the lady in green beside him, and a flash of light appeared in his eyes. If this thing was given to him, he was confident that within 1,000 years, it would become a true Sage King's weapon. The other two sacred kings had the same thought. This was an incredible treasure. If they nurtured it well, it could greatly increase the strength of their sacred city. However, the three of them did not make a move. No matter what, this was still an item from the Grotto Heavens. The lady in green was completely crazy. Even now, they did not understand why the one who died was LV Qingfeng. What was going on? Senior Sacred King, can you tell us what's going on? Did that brat use some nefarious means? The people from the three Grotto Heavens looked at Soaring Sage King. Soaring Sage King frowned. Suddenly, he remembered that Lin Xian seemed to have used something. The power of that thing was even more terrifying than the Black Sky Sword's aura. Could it be a Sage King's weapon? This kid has a true Sage King's weapon? What did you use just now? Soaring Sage King said coldly. The other two sacred kings also looked over and stared at Lin Xian. Lin Xian said, "There's no need for me to tell you. Kid, you better understand who you're talking to." Desolate Sky Sacred King was very unhappy. So what if Lin Xian won? Would a small ant dare to be impudent in front of them? The aura of a Sage King spread out, and Lin Xian's face turned pale. Peerless Sacred King waved his hand, and a black vortex swallowed the aura. Then he said, "Do you think I don't exist? I can tell you that what you guessed was right. That is indeed a Sage King's weapon. I gave it to him." Chapter 4151. Damn it! It was indeed the peerless Holy King. The three Holy Kings' faces turned cold. They did not expect the peerless Holy King to be so powerful. Other than the peerless sword, there were other Holy King weapons that they did not know about. From the beginning to the end, they did not think that it was Lin Xian's, because in their opinion, a small saint could not possibly own such a thing. All right, we've won the second battle again. Then, wouldn't it be our turn to choose a treasure land next? The peerless Holy King's voice rang out. The surrounding people were so angry that they vomited blood. Damn it! Damn it! They swore that they would not lose the next two battles, but now they lost the second battle again. Yes, we will choose the mysterious valley for the second battle. The peerless Holy King said quickly. Then, he created another clone and brought Lin Xian and the rest to the mysterious valley. Damn it! The three Holy Kings' eyes turned red. They even decided to fight. Otherwise, they would not get any benefits. The peerless Holy King snorted. What, you want to fight? We have two holy artifacts here. Think carefully. Damn it! The three Holy Kings' faces turned ugly. Indeed, if it was before, they might have really fought. After all, although the three of them could not kill the peerless Holy King, it was very possible for them to suppress him temporarily and snatch the treasure. But it was different now. If the opponent had two holy artifacts in his hands, it would be very difficult to suppress the peerless Holy King. The peerless Holy King scared the people opposite him. His clone brought Lin Xian and the rest to the mysterious valley. However, they did not enter rashly. Instead, they went around the valley to investigate. This place was too unusual. The peerless Holy King was speechless. Linghu Chueshue was surprised. Master, what was so special about this place? Fu Hongye was also surprised. She felt an indescribable aura. Lin Xian and the rest were the same. The toad said, Why should I care so much? Let's go down and try. He jumped down. Soon, he came back screaming. Damn it, there was a formation. When he came out, he was foaming at the mouth and looked like he was about to die. Damn it, who told you to move around? Lin Xian rolled his eyes. Peerless Saint King was surprised. This toad was not ordinary. Don't make any rash moves. There's a formation protecting it. Let's see how we can break it. Lin Xian and the Crimson Dragon also observed carefully. Both of them were experts in formations. After looking around 3 times, the two of them gathered together. Kid, do you have any ideas? The Crimson Dragon asked. Lin Xian said that there was a way, but it would take too long. I still have a way. I need to borrow the power of a Saint King. Moreover, there are so many experts here. I can use brute force. The Crimson Dragon said. Lin Xian and the others have returned. Holy King, the two of us have taken a look. We have a plan, but we need your help. I got it. Peerless Holy King nodded. His real body also stood up, turned into a stream of light, and arrived above the mysterious valley. At the same time, he created a huge vortex that swallowed everything. What the hell? The 3 Saint Kings outside frowned when they saw this. The law of Devour prevented them from seeing what was happening inside. Inside, Peerless Holy King created another small vortex that floated above everyone's heads. He said, Put your power into the vortex, and I will be able to control it. As expected, Linghu Chueshue, Murong Qingqing, and the others injected their power into the vortex. Peerless Holy King came behind Lin Xian. He said telepathically, Junior brother, use your trump card. Lin Xian took out the great dragon sword soul, and a loud dragon roar was heard. At this moment, the great dragon sword soul had become more powerful after absorbing Lei Jishan's power. However, with Lin Xian's strength, it was still impossible for him to break the formation below. However, with Peerless Holy King and the combined power of so many saint sovereigns, it was impossible. It was not impossible. As expected, Lin Xian held the great dragon sword soul, and Peerless Holy King also channeled his power into the great dragon sword soul. In the next moment, a dragon roar resounded through the 9 heavens and 10 lands. The sword slashed down. With a loud boom, the heavens fell and the earth cracked. There was an apocalypse. What a terrifying aura. Are they trying to break the formation? In the distance, the people from the 3 great holy cities were shocked. The 3 great holy kings frowned. Their eyes looked as if they could pierce through the heavens and earth. Damn it, the law of Devour is too strange. Unless we go in, we won't be able to find anything. Humph, Let's look for other places while they are trying to break the formation. These people also started to move. After all, they had lost 2 rounds and could not find anything. They were not willing to give up. Therefore, the people from the 3 great holy cities started to look around. On the other side, above the mysterious valley, the terrifying vortex slowly disappeared. In the next moment, they all entered the mysterious valley. Did they enter? The Saint Sovereigns from Peerless City were shocked. Previously, they had felt the damage from the seal. They did not expect that they could enter so easily. Peerless Saint King took a deep breath. He knew how much power he had to use this time. This was the power of the great dragon sword soul. It was indeed the legendary sword soul. He realized that even he could not completely revive the great dragon sword soul. However, compared to what Lin Xian was able to cast, it was much more powerful. Therefore, the seal was broken by the sword. After entering, everyone looked around curiously. The valley looked mysterious from the outside, but after entering, they found birds chirping and flowers fragrant. It was like a paradise. The aura of heaven and earth was so pure. Murong Qingqing's eyes lit up. They all felt that this place was very pure. It was as if it did not fit in with the outside world. Holy kings and the people from the 3 great holy cities started to leave and go to other places. An elder frowned. Peerless Holy King looked into the distance and said, "Don't worry about them. Let them search. Otherwise, they would not be at ease." Indeed, they had already occupied 2 of the 3 great treasure lands. To be exact, they had also occupied the 3rd one. Other than these 3 great treasure lands, the treasures in the other places were not as good as here. There was another reason why they did not care. It was to distract them. Otherwise, if the 3 great holy cities could not get anything, they would definitely take action. Peerless Holy King sensed carefully and then smiled. He said, "This is a good place. Hurry up and absorb the energy here." "Master, what is so magical about this place?" Fu Hongye was also puzzled. The others also walked over. Peerless Holy King smiled. "If I am not wrong, the aura of this place is very pure. It is the primordial aura of heaven and earth. It can change a person's life." Chapter 4152. Changing one's life level. Many people were shocked. Lin Xian sucked in a breath of cold air. How could this valley have such an effect? Life level was a very special thing. For example, Lin Xian was a mid-stage minor saint. His life level was at the minor saint level. However, his soul level was relatively high. It should have reached the level of a saint venerable. Moreover, he had a divine body. His physique was much stronger than an ordinary minor saint. It could be said that Lin Xian's life level was far beyond a minor saint. It was almost the same as a saint venerable. As one's cultivation level increased, one's life level would also increase. However, there was always a limit. For example, if a water tank was only 1 meter long, it could only hold a certain amount of water. Any more and the water would flow out. This was the height of life level. It could turn a 1-meter water tank into a 5-meter or 2-meter water tank. To people, this was very shocking and precious. It could increase the upper limit of these people. For example, if a person's life was only at the level of a saint venerable, it would be very difficult for him to break through the shackles of a saint venerable. If one's life level could change, there would be hope. This was the great opportunity that the bronze messenger had mentioned earlier. It could change one's life. Therefore, everyone in the valley was excited. They knew that they had encountered a great opportunity that was hard to come by in thousands or even tens of thousands of years. They could change their lives. These people were extremely excited. Peerless Saint King also smiled. He said that they were very lucky. This was left behind 80,000 years ago. Although there were people who came in during this period, it seemed that no one had come in for the past 10,000 years. This is the first time in 10,000 years. There is a lot of chi in here. Let's quickly absorb it. After saying that, he couldn't wait any longer. Lin Xian and the others began to cultivate in the valley. As for the people from the other 3 saint cities, they began to crazily sweep through the valley. Some people rushed to Thunder Rolling Mountain, while others rushed to Dragon Tiger Mountain. After all, these two places were treasures. However, they found that these two places were very mysterious. The Dragon and Tiger on Dragon Tiger Mountain brought great pressure. Even the Saint King had to be careful. On the other hand, Thunder Rolling Mountain seemed to have been sealed off. It was probably because Lin Xian had swallowed too much and couldn't enter. This made them gnash their teeth in anger. There were even people who had designs on the mysterious valley. However, when they got close, they realized that the seal here was extremely difficult to break. It was impossible to break it in a short period of time. If the three Saint Kings were to join forces, the unparalleled Saint King inside would definitely not let the matter rest. Hence, they did not touch this place for the time being. Their target was Mount Longhu. The three sage rulers joined forces to explore Mount Longhu, while the other sages scattered to different parts of the world to begin collecting their own opportunities. At the same time, in the second astral realm, on planet Tianming, this was the place where one's fate was measured. It opened once every 500 years, and it had long been closed. However, in the depths of Destiny Planet, the bronze envoy opened his eyes and looked at the Destiny Stone with shock. Someone was changing fate. In the past, many peerless geniuses had come here to test their fates. Therefore, in the future, if someone encountered a great opportunity and changed the fate of the heavens, it would cause a commotion. Now, the same thing was happening. He frowned, wondering who it was that had obtained such a heaven-defying opportunity. Whoosh! Suddenly, his expression became extremely ugly because blood was flowing out of the heavens mandate stone again. Damn it! The sky was dyed red with blood. The one who had been abandoned by the heavens. He had encountered a peerless opportunity. It was impossible for him to change fate. The bronze envoy's expression was cold. He took out a disc array and quickly sent a message to it. It was obvious that he was already setting up a trap. At the same time, in another mysterious part of the universe, an ancient planet was also shaking. The divine Wudong steel was changing. A seven-colored stream of light flashed. It was a middle-aged woman with a pair of phoenix wings. Her expression was incomparably solemn. She knelt on one knee on the ground and was extremely respectful. In front of her stood an old man. It was an old woman. Her skin was as dry as an orange peel. She also had a pair of resplendent wings on her back. A seven-colored light? The seven-colored phoenix had appeared in the end. However, she does not belong to the divine phoenix ridge and will eventually fight the heavenly phoenix. Go and find out more about her. Yes. The phoenix that was kneeling on the ground stood up, flapped her wings, and turned into a stream of light and disappeared. Lin Xian and Murong Qingqing did not know any of this. They were currently in the valley, absorbing the aura in the valley with all their might. They could feel that their bodies were changing. This change made them happy and excited. They were not the only ones. Everyone was changing. Everyone's speed of change was different. For example, Lin Xian and Murong Qingqing were changing very quickly. The other person was Peerless Holy King. He was already a Holy King, so no one knew what level he would reach after his life rating increased. At this moment, Peerless Holy King struck out a law and flew out of the mysterious valley. The law flew into the distance and resounded in the sky. Skysoar Holy King, what about the three of you? Listen up. If you don't fight the third round, it'll be our loss. Mount Longhu is yours. This voice resounded in all directions in the sky. Skysoar Holy King and the others were surprised when they heard this. To be honest, they had already set their sights on Mount Longhu. Moreover, they had already thought of an excuse and planned to use powerful methods to take down Mount Longhu. They could not afford to lose any more. However, they did not expect that the other party would give up on the third round and give it to them. Damn it. It seemed that these people had obtained some benefits in the valley. Desolate Sky Holy King gritted his teeth. Silver Corpse Holy King sneered. We've seen the valley. It's not easy to enter it. Why don't we work together to take down Mount Longhu? It's definitely not ordinary. The three Holy Kings discussed and decided to work together to take down Mount Longhu. The other powerful holy sovereigns were also summoned. For a moment, the atmosphere was extremely tense. The three people from the Grotto Heaven retreated far away. To be honest, they did not have the mood to search for treasures at all. They were in a very dangerous situation. Lu Qingfeng was already dead. Moreover, they realized that there were many people around them who were constantly looking at them. It seemed that they were after the Black Sky Sword. This made them extremely nervous. Damn it, these people won't do anything, right? What if they kill us? They did not dare to think about it anymore. They really hoped that Mount Longhu could attract everyone's attention. Boom. On Mount Longhu, everyone had already reached the peak. With the three holy kings working together, their speed was extremely fast. After reaching the peak, they started to make their move. Although there was only one person, this person's aura was really too terrifying. It did not feel any weaker than the Sage King's aura. Kill. The three Saint Kings made their moves and engaged in a fierce battle with Mount Longhu. A heaven-shaking, earth-shattering power erupted. Retreat quickly. Those holy venerates originally wanted to help. However, at this moment, they were unable to do anything. This power could probably tear them to shreds in an instant. This was a battle between Saint Kings, and they could only watch. Therefore, these people floated down Mount Longhu and watched from afar. The battle here had shocked the entire world. Even the people in the mysterious valley could feel it. Many people opened their eyes one after another and looked into the distance. That direction was the direction of Mount Longhu. It seemed that they were indeed attacking Mount Longhu. Li also opened his eyes, and a hint of worry appeared in his eyes. After all, it was three Saint Kings working together. He did not know if Mount Longhu could withstand it. Then, he shook his head. So what if they could? So what if they could not? With his current strength, he could not face a Saint King at all. Therefore, the most important thing for him now was to absorb the power of the valley with all his might to improve his life level. Thinking of this, he closed his eyes again. He formed a seal with his palm and absorbed with all his might. The others did the same. Time passed slowly. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. In the blink of an eye, 3 years had passed. On this day, Lin Xian and the others opened their eyes. This was because they had absorbed all the pure power in the mysterious valley. They stood up with surprised expressions on their faces. That's great. It really improved. My upper limit has increased. Some of the elders were so excited that they were about to cry. They were already relatively old. They did not have much lifespan left. It would have been difficult for them to improve, but now they saw hope. Fu Hongye was wild with joy. I really improved. I seem to have changed my fate. Is it true? Is that true? Many people looked over. Fu Hongye nodded. When I was tested on Planet Destiny, my destiny was a Saint King. Now, I feel like I can break through and become a great saint. That's great. The elders were excited. Peerless Saint King also smiled. Lin Xian, Murong Qingqing, and the others were shocked. This should be a heaven-defying opportunity. Logically speaking, once one's destiny was determined, it would be very difficult to change it. Ordinary opportunities would not work at all, unless it was something like this, which would not happen in 10,000 years. Linghu Chueshue nodded as well. My destiny has improved. I can become a great saint. That's great. If there were no accidents, Fu Hongye and Linghu Chueshue would become great saints in the future. This was too shocking. What about their Saint King? Many people looked at Peerless Saint King. Peerless Saint King's smile was very bright, but he did not say how much he had changed. However, everyone knew that Peerless Saint King must have changed a lot. His upper limit might be even higher. Peerless Saint King looked at Lin Xian and asked, "How do you feel?" The others also looked at him. That's right. Their junior brother was a destiny. It was even more terrifying. Legend had it that he had reached the Heaven Illuminator realm. There was also a saying that heaven and earth did not tolerate him. They wondered how far he would go with this change in life level. Seeing so many people looking at him with concern, Lin Xian smiled and said, "Don't look at me like that. I don't know either. I can only feel that it's helpful to me. However, it's hard to say how far I've reached." Indeed, no one knew what the Heaven Illuminator realm was. However, Lin Xian could feel that when he was cultivating, the blood in the heavens seemed to have decreased. In other words, The power that heaven and earth did not tolerate had weakened. If this news were to spread, it would definitely shock the universe. Everyone was shocked, but peerless Saint King seemed to know something. He pondered for a moment and then said, "As long as you live well, your future achievements will be so great that it'll be shocking. However, when you leave this world, you should keep a low profile. Why don't you go back to Peerless City and go into seclusion for a while and lie low?" Lie low because of the three great holy cities? Everyone was shocked. However, Lin Xian knew that it was not just the three great holy cities. There was probably an even stronger enemy that wanted to kill him now. Chapter 4154. All right, it was time to go out. Since they could no longer cultivate here, they rose into the air and left the mysterious valley. It was difficult to enter the valley, but it was easy to leave. It seemed to be a one-way formation that would not stop them from leaving. Hence, they were able to leave the valley easily. When they came out, they were shocked to find that the three sacred cities were still attacking Mount Longhu. The Peerless City Elder's mouth twitched. It had been 3 years, and the three sacred kings still had not succeeded? Heavens, what was in Mount Longhu? What Peerless Sacred King said was normal. Without special means, they might not be able to conquer the valley in 3 years. He was right. They were able to do it so quickly because of the great dragon sword soul. Otherwise, they would not have been able to enter the valley. On the other hand, Mount Longhu was even more mysterious. It required a special bloodline and soul to enter. The three sacred kings did not think that it would be difficult to attack it. At this moment, the people from the three great sacred cities also turned their heads around and cried out in alarm. It was the people from Peerless City. Were they out? Hearing that, the three sacred kings also turned around. Wu Shuang, what was in the valley? Sacred King Huang Tian asked impatiently. Damn it, the other party had already come out with the treasures, but they had not entered. They were so angry that they were about to vomit blood. Peerless Sacred King said that if they wanted to know, they would know once they went in. Humph. Sacred King Huang Tian's face turned ugly. Sacred King's silver corpse beside him said that if they worked together, they could get a share of the loot. Not interested. Peerless Sacred King yawned. He was tired after coming out for so long. He was ready to go back. You guys can slowly attack here. Good luck. With that, he led Lin Xian and the rest out. Are these people leaving? Damn it, they were definitely going to return with a full load. The people from the sacred cities were red-eyed. The three sacred kings also looked cold. They did not expect the other party to reject them. Did they not want to find out the secrets of Mount Longhu? This mountain was so terrifying. There must be a lot of secrets and treasures in it. Damn it, was this guy trying to raise the price? Sacred King Fei Tian's face turned cold. From their point of view, the other party was probably pretending to leave so that they could renegotiate and get a bigger share of Mount Longhu's treasures. However, after waiting for a long time, they found that the other party did not return. This made their faces turn green. Was the other party really going to leave? Damn it, the three Saint Kings decided to launch another powerful attack. If it didn't work, they would give up. After all, there was no point in wasting time here. This time, they attacked with all their might. Mount Longhu shook violently once again. This time, the tremors were even stronger than before. Great, am I going to succeed? The people of the three holy cities were overjoyed. However, at this moment, a dragon and a tiger roared at the same time and shot out a world-destroying light. Retreat quickly. Everyone screamed. The three Saint Kings were also sent flying in an instant. The saints of the sacred city were also torn into a bloody mist. Many people had perished here. Let's go. The eyes of the three great Saint Kings were red. If they did not leave now, they might lose their lives. They quickly fled with the warriors of their respective holy cities. Take us. The three people from the Grotto Heaven screamed. They used the black heaven swords to defend themselves. Soaring Sky Saint King sighed when he saw this. He reached out with his hand and grabbed at it. However, he was blocked by a Yellow Springs diagram. What is the meaning of this? He was stunned. The Silver Corpse Saint directly attacked. The Yellow Springs gourd in his hand poured out endless Yellow Springs water and directly swallowed the three of them. The Black Heaven Sword was also swallowed. In the next moment, it turned into a stream of light and entered the Yellow Springs gourd. Damn it! How dare you attack? They were from the Grotto Heaven. Soaring Sky Saint King was stunned. Desolate Heaven Saint King's expression also changed. Silver Corpse Saint King chuckled. How could it be me who attacked? Didn't you see the world-destroying light erupting from Mount Longhu? They died on Mount Longhu. The two of us have to share this matter. Otherwise, don't blame us for being impolite. Desolate Heaven Saint King and Soaring Saint King said coldly. Silver Corpse Saint King said, well, the three of us can share the secrets of their bodies. Let's go. The three Saint Kings instantly formed an alliance and flew out. In the end, none of the 5 people from the Grotto Heaven managed to escape. In fact, it was very dangerous to attack the people from the Grotto Heaven, but it was a good opportunity. Because of the world-destroying storm from Mount Longhu, the Black Heaven Sword did not have any extra energy to defend against other attacks. That was why the Yellow Springs gourd could take advantage of the opportunity to enter. Otherwise, it would not be so simple. Needless to say, the power of Mount Longhu was truly terrifying. The 3 Saint Kings retreated. In fact, even Peerless Saint King and the others who had left long ago were shocked. They also felt the aura of destruction. Peerless Saint King created a devouring vortex and enveloped everyone. In the next moment, he entered the devouring vortex and flew forward quickly. Boom! They rushed out. After they came out, everyone heaved a sigh of relief. However, Peerless Saint King's expression was cold. Damn it! We almost died in there at the last moment. Are the 3 Saint Kings courting death? Not long after, they saw the people from the 3 Saint cities come out as well. However, they were all in a sorry state and were injured. The 3 Saint Kings' faces were pale. It was obvious that the 3 years of continuous attacks had consumed too much of their energy. In addition, they were all injured in the last attack. Fortunately, they had escaped quickly. Otherwise, the 3 Saint Kings would have died in there. There were still many people waiting around. After all, they could not enter and wanted to see if there were any treasures left behind. However, when they saw the aura of the 4 Saint Kings, they all ran away in fear. What a joke! Even if there were treasures left behind, could they get them from the Saint Kings? The answer was obviously impossible. They might even anger the Saint Kings. Therefore, they all ran away. After the 3 Saint Kings came out, they stared at Peerless Saint King in front of them. Their expressions were extremely cold. Peerless Saint King's eyes shone with a terrifying light. He snorted coldly with a warning. The 3 Sage Kings turned their heads to look at the 9,999th gourd. They had marked this place. They were prepared to go back and study it. They wanted to join forces with more Saint Kings to attack Mount Longhu. On the other hand, Peerless Saint King's side left quickly with his people. Not long after he left, the 9,999 bottle gourds disappeared. This scene made the 3 Saint Kings' faces turn ugly. What happened? Did it disappear? They searched frantically and realized that it had really disappeared. Damn it! That meant that they could never enter this world again. Yes, there are 3 of you. But so what? For the past 3 years, you have been attacking continuously. Your strength has long been exhausted. You are not at your peak state. Moreover, he was injured in the end. And I, on the other hand, am a peak existence. Moreover, I have 2 Saint King weapons in my hands. If we really fight, I can guarantee that you won't get any benefits. The people of the 3 sacred cities had ugly expressions on their faces. These words were indeed correct. If they were at their peak, the 3 Saint Kings would not have any misgivings at all. But the 3 great Sage Kings had expended too much energy now, and they were all injured. He wondered how much combat power he had left. On the other hand, Peerless Holy King's aura seemed to be even stronger than when he had entered. It was obvious that he had benefited greatly in the past 3 years. Just as Great Sage King Shan was hesitating, a piercing light suddenly lit up. It charged towards Lin Xian. It was a sure-kill sword. Lin Xian jumped in fright. He immediately used the void escape technique and dodged quickly. And this scene directly alarmed the people of Peerless City. Who was it? Did he really want to make a move? Peerless Holy King roared and slashed down with his sword, directly shattering the void. Poof! A figure flew out and was beaten into a bloody mist. It was not someone from the 3 sacred cities. An assassin? Could it be the mortal world? Peerless Holy King was shocked, and Lin Xian's face was even uglier. Damn it! He had just changed his life form, and these people from the mortal world had come to kill him. Could it be that they had received news about him? He did not dare to imagine. Buzz, buzz, buzz. At the same time, many hazy figures appeared in all directions. They stood in the void like gods of death. These people crushed the tokens in their hands at the same time, forming a formation. Soon, a space was formed. A figure came out of the space gate. When Peerless Holy King saw this, he immediately used all his strength to slash with the unparalleled sword. The space gate was shattered. The figure disappeared, but in the end, someone else walked out. This person was a late-stage sacred venerable, and he held a killing sword in his hand. It was the weapon of a sage king. It seemed that there was a sage king who wanted to teleport over. However, the formation was destroyed, and only a weapon and a sage venerable could be teleported over. That was enough. When the 3 sage kings saw this scene, they were overjoyed. This was a good opportunity to attack. The 3 of them charged over crazily. The mortal world assassins could help them turn the situation around. A great battle broke out in an instant. It was very sudden. The entire starry sky was destroyed. The 3 sage kings did not hold back at all, and they immediately used their ultimate skills. Some took out their sage king weapons, and some directly used Baron summoning. Their main target was Peerless Holy King, because as long as Peerless Holy King was dead, the others were nothing to be afraid of. Not good. Master. The people of Peerless City were stunned. 3 against 1. Could Peerless Holy King stop them? Senior brother. Lin Xian was also shocked. This was too dangerous. He quickly threw out the Great Destruction Spear. At the same time, he left a soul imprint on it, allowing Peerless Holy King to control it. Peerless Saint King was instantly struck by a terrifying blow. He was forced to retreat. Fortunately, he had the Devouring Law and could devour a portion of the power. Otherwise, he would be in danger. But even so, he was still being suppressed. However, in the next moment, a pitch-black light pierced through the void, tearing apart the Yellow Springs diagram, and arrived beside Peerless Holy King. Peerless Holy King's eyes lit up. It was the 2nd Sage King weapon. That was great. He grabbed the Great Destruction Spear with his left hand and swept it out. Boundless demonic chi exploded. The 2 Sage King weapons allowed him to temporarily escape from danger. Buzz. Since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. Peerless Holy King roared. Although he still had the appearance of a young man, his eyes were exuding a domineering aura. A huge devouring vortex appeared, covering the 9 heavens. The entire starry sky was completely dark. Everyone was devoured. The people of Sage City were terrified, and they frantically tried to defend themselves. Lin Xian and the others were also nervous. The 3 Sage Kings attacked as if they had gone mad. Chapter 4156. The battle between the 4 Sage Kings instantly destroyed everything. Lin Xian and the others quickly retreated. They couldn't fight against a battle between Sage Kings at all. The aftermath of this energy was enough to tear them to pieces. Therefore, with Linghu Chueshue as the representative, they quickly retreated into the distance. Did they want to leave? The people from the 3 holy cities rushed upstairs. Kill. Linghu Chueshue and the others drew their weapons and rushed up. If the 3 holy cities were at their peak, they would immediately turn around and leave. But now, the sages of the 3 holy cities had long lost their strength and were seriously injured. Moreover, their numbers were much fewer than before. Only a third of them survived. Although they had more people, their condition was too bad. These people were not to be feared at all. Sure enough, Linghu Chueshue was very powerful. He directly robbed them of their vision and sound. Then, he destroyed the soul aura on all of them. They were like killing gods in the darkness, quickly reaping. The people from the 3 holy cities roared crazily. Those who were strong enough to reach the holy venerate level crazily used their laws, making it impossible for anyone to get close to them. At the same time, they frantically retreated. And at this moment, another terrifying killing intent descended from the sky. It charged towards Lin Xian. At the same time, someone swung his sword. The barrier formed by Linghu Chueshue was instantly shattered. Not good. It was the weapon of a sage king. Retreat quickly. The human world brought a sage king weapon, which was enough to threaten all of them. Although Linghu Chueshue, Fu Hongye, and the others were strong, they couldn't resist a late-stage holy venerate and a sage king weapon. They could only dodge quickly. Those killer sages kept chasing after them. In addition, the threat of this sage king weapon was too great. Buzz. It was a blood-red sword. It was very terrifying. The aura it emitted became stronger again. Then, it slashed towards Lin Xian. Not good. Lin Xian's pupils shrank. He activated the void escape. However, the power of this sword was too violent. It directly cut a nearby star in half. Lin Xian and the others couldn't dodge at all. Even if they were hit by the aftermath of the energy, they would probably be seriously injured. Therefore, Lin Xian said, "Come over." He opened the Great Sage Tower. With a clang, the Great Sage Pagoda was sent flying. Fortunately, he managed to block the attack. What is this? The people from Peerless City were stupefied. Lin Xian still had such a defensive treasure on him? The Crimson Dragon and Toad, however, were gnashing their teeth. Damn it, counterattack. They channeled their power into the Great Sage Tower. The Great Sage Pagoda transformed into a ray of light and collided with the merciless bloody sword. An intense battle broke out between the two of them. In a star world by the side, that world was torn apart. He wasn't dead. Does that brat still have a saint artifact on him? The 3 Saint Kings who were fighting Peerless Saint King were also stunned. They originally thought that the people from Wushuang City would definitely die. Who would have thought that he would be able to survive? Peerless Saint King heaved a sigh of relief, and then used all his strength to counterattack. The Peerless Sword and Great Destruction Spear in his hands attacked in all directions. However, at this moment, the space gate reformed in the void. Then, the real Saint King assassin appeared. The moment he appeared, he shattered the 9 heavens and 10 lands. His terrifying killing intent once again destroyed the surrounding 2 stars. This was just the killing intent on his body. If he attacked with all his strength, how violent would it be? He took the merciless bloody sword from the Saint King and slashed it down. This was the full attack of a Saint King. The Great Sage Pagoda was sent flying again, and Lin Xian and the rest were forced back. There was no choice. He was too strong. If they were Saint Kings, they could definitely kill him with the Great Sage Pagoda. But now, they were not Saint Kings. The strongest was only a Saint King. But a group of Saint Kings together was no match for a Saint King. You can come in too. When Peerless Saint King saw this scene, he used the law of devouring to swallow the Saint King assassin. He would not let the Saint King attack Lin Xian and the rest directly. The remaining Saint Slayers rushed out in a frenzy. The people from Great Mountain Sage City also rushed over. The situation was also very dangerous. Everyone, go all out. Lin Xian's Great Dragon Sword Soul exploded. The Taiji diagram spun. The Crimson Dragon's dragon blood surged. The Dragon Clan's great mystique was used. The 7-colored phoenix appeared on Morong Qingqing's body. At the same time, a desolate pagoda appeared in her hand. This was a replica of an extreme weapon. Its power was also incomparably terrifying. Linghu Chueshue, Fu Hongye, and the rest also went all out. The battle was very tragic. Lin Xian and the rest actually resisted the attacks of the mortal world and the 3 great sacred cities. Although they were injured, they could hold on without the threat of the Saint King. If they could not block the attacks, they would use the Great Sage Pagoda to defend. But at this moment, an endless amount of yellow spring water dripped down from above their heads. It spread out in the void around them. Dodge. Don't be enveloped by the yellow spring water. They frantically retreated. But it was useless. This time, it was not the Saint Kings of Acheron Hall who attacked, but the Silver Corpse Saint King. Acheron Soul Control. An extremely terrifying and strange voice rang out. Everyone felt that they were being affected by the yellow spring water. They could not control their bodies. Even Lin Xian felt a huge impact on his soul. He frantically resisted with all his might. His soul was being pushed to the extreme, but he was still affected. His soul was currently equivalent to a Saint King's. But compared to a Saint King, it was not enough. He felt that the great sage pagoda had broken free from his control and was forcefully knocked away from him. It flew into the distance. It landed on a star realm. In the sky, a yellow spring Tao diagram charged toward them. It enveloped all of them. No, were they going to die? At this moment, everyone was in despair. Murong Qingsheng and the rest wanted to fight back, but they realized that the yellow spring had also swallowed the desolate pagoda replica. They were all controlled and turned into puppets. They could only watch helplessly as the attack came towards them. Was this the power of a Saint King? It was too strong. They were in despair and could not resist. Damn it, how dare you? Peerless Saint King roared crazily. However, 1 against 4 was already his limit. Even if he had 2 Saint artifacts and the Law of Devour, he could not spare any extra energy to save Lin Xian and the rest. Damn it, no. Lin Xian roared. The great dragon sword soul circulated crazily and shattered the yellow spring's control. In the next moment, he could move again. He frantically summoned the great sage pagoda. The great sage pagoda turned into a stream of light and flew over. But it was too late. The yellow spring Tao diagram was even faster. In an instant, it was in front of them. The terrifying aura terrified them. Chapter 4157. Crack. Linghu Chueshue, Fu Hongye, and the other's body shattered. The crimson dragon also screamed crazily. Murong Qingsheng spat out a mouthful of blood, staining her face red. Lin Xian had gone crazy. He would never allow the other party to hurt the people around him. The great sage pagoda was too late to defend, so he could only rely on himself. Void escape. At this moment, Lin Xian activated many secret techniques. The great dragon sword soul, the terrifying power of Tai Chi, the void escape, and the peerless secret technique that increased his strength by 5 times. Lin Xian rushed up and used the void escape to teleport away. Not only that, but the yellow spring's Tao diagram also left with him. In the next moment, Lin Xian appeared in the distance, and the yellow spring's Tao diagram completely enveloped him. It shattered with a loud bang. That place had completely sunk into oblivion. Several stars were completely shattered. No, junior brother Lin. Linghu Chueshue and the others screamed crazily. Brother Xian. Murong Qingsheng cried. The toad, the crimson dragon, and the others roared crazily. In order to save them, Lin Xian directly teleported the yellow spring's Tao diagram away. He had taken a blow from the Sage King alone. More importantly, the great sage pagoda was not with the other party. No matter how strong the 9-yang divine body was, it could not withstand such an attack. Only one of them was hit. The silver corpse Sage King was stunned. He did not expect the other party to be able to teleport his attack away. This kid also knew spatial magic. However, it was good that he was dead. He did not plan to let the other party live anyway. Damn it, how dare you? The peerless Sage King was completely enraged. At this moment, he desperately attacked. He forced the 3 Sage Kings back. Bang! His back was struck by the World of Men's assassin's sword. His entire body was sliced into 2. However, he used the Law of Devour to directly devour the terrifying Sage King. Retreat! This guy has gone crazy. The 3 Sage Kings frantically retreated. As expected, the peerless Sage King was pretending to go berserk. He ignored the consequences and burned his bloodline and power. He attacked crazily. The 3 Sage Kings did not dare to fight head-on. The best way to deal with a crazy person was to avoid them. On the other side, the people from Peerless City were trembling in anger. Murong Qingsheng felt as if her soul had been sucked out of her body. She could not believe what she was seeing. older brother Xian. She recklessly rushed over, but was sent flying by the power of the yellow springs. Her body dyed in blood. However, she rushed forward again. It was the same for the toad and the crimson dragon. Let us help you. They instantly rushed forward. It was the same for Linghu Chueshue and the others. Finally, they came to the front, but found that the front was already in ruins. That place had long become primal chaos, an endless abyss appearing. The void was shattered, and there was no one's shadow at all. There was blood. It was that kid's. He saw the dark red dragon's blood that looked like gold. This golden blood belongs to the 9-yang divine body. Lin Xian was injured. Where is he? That brat should be able to block it, right? They searched frantically, but they couldn't find Lin Xian at all. Could it be that this kid was really dead? These people did not dare to believe it at all. Meanwhile, the people from the 3 holy cities laughed out loud. That was great. But soon, they could not laugh anymore. Because Morong Qingcheng and the others were crazily counterattacking. Peerless Holy King even used the law of devouring to devour the entire starfield. In an instant, the sages of the 3 holy cities were killed in an instant. Apart from the 4 holy kings, the others could not resist at all. Damn it! The eyes of the people from the 3 holy kings turned red. They had brought all the experts this time. They had lost some in the gourd world, but they still had some top experts. But now, they had all been devoured by Peerless Holy King. How could they be willing to accept this? Therefore, the 3 holy kings also crazily counterattacked. In the human realm, the Holy King assassins also made a move. And from the looks of it, he wanted to continue hunting Morong Qingqing, Linghu Chueshue, and the others. Peerless Holy King once again launched a shocking attack. Then, he turned into a black light and instantly arrived beside Linghu Chueshue and the others. He waved his hand and enveloped these people. Go! He also rolled up the Great Sage Pagoda and defended it at the same time. These people entered the Great Sage Pagoda and blocked the shocking attack of the 4 holy kings. Then, they disappeared. Damn it! Damn it! The 4 holy kings' faces were ugly. The 4 of them had joined forces and wanted to kill Peerless Holy King and the others in one fell swoop. Then, they might take the opportunity to take over the entire Wushuang city. However, things went beyond their expectations. They only killed Lin Xian. The others did not seem to be dead, and they did not get the treasures. More importantly, they had suffered heavy losses. The holy venerables that they had brought out were all killed. This made them so angry that they wanted to vomit blood. Damn it! Go! These people also quickly left. The assassins in the human realm also hid. The assassin's lips curled into a smile. He was not here to steal the treasures. He was here to kill Lin Xian. Now that he had killed Lin Xian, he could naturally go back. In the Great Sage Pagoda, everyone's mood was extremely low, especially Morong Qingqing and the Crimson Dragon. They still could not believe it. Was Lin Xian really dead? Damn it! I want revenge. The Crimson Dragon roared. Morong Qingqing gritted his teeth. I will use the power of the Kunlun Pavilion at all costs. I will not let them have it easy. Peerless Holy King took a deep breath. He said that revenge must be avenged, but not too crazily. There was still a glimmer of hope. What did this mean? They raised their heads. Could it be that Lin Xian was not dead? Peerless Holy King said that he was not sure, but a trace of his soul remained on this weapon. It had not disappeared yet. So, there was still hope. Hearing this, Morong Qingqing was so happy that he cried. The Crimson Dragon and the others also heaved a sigh of relief. But where was Lin Xian now? How was he? They had no idea. Peerless Holy King said, "Follow me back to Wushuang City. I will not let them have it easy." These people turned into streams of light and disappeared. As for this news, it began to spread. Lin Wudi was killed? That was impossible. The news came from the Holy City. The Holy King had killed him personally. No way. Lin Wudi had angered the Holy King? Which Holy King was it? It was said that it was the Silver Corpse Holy King from the Acheron Hall. How could Lin Wudi block his attack? Indeed, no matter how strong Lin Wudi was, he was only a minor saint. Compared to the Holy King, he was too weak. This time, he was definitely going to die. Many people shook their heads and sighed. It was truly a pity that a top-notch genius had fallen. However, some of the geniuses in the holy city heaved a sigh of relief. Some of them even sneered. Great. The Demon King was finally dead. No matter how arrogant he had finally angered the Holy King. In any case, this incident caused the second astral realm to be in an uproar. Not long after, another shocking news spread. Chapter 4158. It turned out that Peerless City had directly destroyed one of the worlds of the Acheron Palace. That world of stars was torn to pieces, directly blown apart. Wow, it can't be. Peerless City had counterattacked. And it was such a terrifying counterattack. Everyone went crazy. This was not the end. After the Acheron Palace, the Great Baron Mansion and the Thousand Demon City were also attacked. The worlds under their rule were also in tatters. The losses were very heavy. Peerless City's attack this time was very decisive and swift. After they succeeded, they immediately returned. The entire Peerless City was heavily guarded, not giving the other party a chance at all. The Saint Kings of the three holy cities had just returned. When they heard the news, they were so angry that they vomited blood. Damn it! Pass down the order. No one from Peerless City was allowed to escape. In an instant, the atmosphere in the second astral realm became incomparably tense again. Everyone went crazy. It was normal for there to be conflicts between the holy cities, but usually they were small skirmishes. But now, that was not the case. Stars were destroyed at every turn. This was already an extremely terrifying method. It was very likely that there would be more terrifying battles in the future. A huge storm would sweep through the second astral realm, Thousand Demon City. Nine Cheelance came out of seclusion. When he heard the news of Lin Xian's death, the corner of his mouth raised into a smile. Is he finally dead? I originally wanted to kill him personally. But it's good. The spot on the pilgrim list is mine now. Gao Yu of the New Moon Clan was also in a daze when she heard the news. Lin Wuti had fallen? She really did not dare to believe it. One had to know that when they could participate in the Destiny Star competition together, she had achieved dazzling results. However, Lin Wuti had grown much faster than her and had left her far behind. She originally thought that she would never be able to catch up to him in this lifetime. Who would have thought that something like this would happen to him? Not only her, but the Golden Crow Clan and the Thousand Sword Pavilion all sneered. Even the people on the pilgrim ranking were stunned when they heard about it. What a pity. Chao Tianxing shook his head. On the other side, Gu Feng sneered when he heard the news. What heaven illuminator! He was indeed a person abandoned by the heavens. Only the living geniuses had a future. The dead were nothing. Some people were destined to become dust. Sealed Land. This was a very famous forbidden area on Green Hill Planet. This was because this place was extremely dangerous. It was rumored that if an ordinary saint were to enter this place, he would definitely die. It was said that a great battle had taken place here in the ancient times. Two peerless saints from outside the realm had fought fiercely here. Endless sacred blood was spilled. So many tens of thousands of years had passed, but those auras were still not extinguished. As soon as they entered, they would succumb to the pressure and become a blood-soul puppet. However, while ordinary people didn't dare to enter, powerful experts and geniuses could still enter. Furthermore, this sealed land would open once every 300 years to send in some people with potential to cultivate. This time, it was time for the official opening. Those who were able to enter were all experts. There were even people from other worlds who were preparing to come over and enter the sealed land. At this moment, in the depths of the seal, the void broke open. A black furnace came crashing down and landed on the ground. This caused the earth to tremble, and countless large cracks spread out in all directions. A bird's cry rang out. What was going on? The people who were participating in the trial in the sealed land were all alarmed. It was in the depths. Let's go and take a look. Could it be that something unexpected had happened? Or could it be that some treasure had appeared? These people all rushed over. As for the black stove, it slowly opened, and a person crawled out from it. After he came out, he looked around cautiously and then heaved a sigh of relief. It seemed that he had escaped the pursuit of the three sage kings. This person was Lin Xian, and the furnace was the void divine furnace. Everyone thought that he was dead, but he was alive and had come to this mysterious place. Previously, he was indeed in great danger. He had used the void escape to move the Yellow Springs Dao diagram away, protecting Murong Qingsheng and the others. However, he was in danger. Without the Great Sage Tower by his side, it would be too difficult for him to block a Sage King's terrifying attack with his current strength. It was basically impossible. However, he didn't only have the Great Sage Tower in his body. He also had the Void Divine Furnace. Although he didn't usually use this furnace, and only used it when he was refining pills. However, it was also a mysterious treasure that he had obtained. In the moment of danger, he took out the Void Divine Furnace and entered it. He dodged. The Void Divine Furnace was hit by the Yellow Springs Dao diagram, and it tore through the void and entered the turbulence of space. No one knew where it went. Fortunately, this furnace was extremely terrifying. It actually withstood the attack of the Sage Kings. When the furnace stabilized, Lin Xian came out from it and saw his surroundings. He realized that he was no longer in the starry sky, and the pursuit of the three Sage Kings was gone. It seemed that he had left that place, and his life was not in danger for the time being. However, he didn't know how Murong Qingsheng and the others were doing. It seemed that he had to think of a way to go back, or at least find out where he was. Suddenly, he frowned, because he felt many powerful auras rushing over. In the next moment, he waved his hand and put away the Void Divine Furnace. However, a figure had already arrived in the void. He looked down and said coldly, "Who are you? What did you put away just now? Hand it over, and I'll spare your life." It seemed that he treated the Void Divine Furnace as a treasure and wanted to snatch it away. Lin Xian frowned slightly and looked forward. He had consumed a lot of energy in the previous battle. Moreover, he was also injured when he ran away. At this moment, he could only use half of his strength. However, he wasn't someone that anyone could provoke. He realized that the figure in front of him was tall and straight. His aura was violent, and there was even a demonic energy. Moreover, there was an illusion of a tail behind him. He wasn't a human, but a demonic beast. It seemed that he had reached the late stage of the minor saint realm. He should be an expert. He didn't know what this place was. Therefore, he didn't prepare to fight. He said indifferently, "You don't need to know who I am. As for the thing that I put away just now, it's my own. Are you looking for other places? Are you a human? You're just a puny human. How dare you say that it's yours in this place? The entire sealed land is ours. Hand it over, and I'll spare your life. Otherwise, you'll die without a burial place." Lin Xian was also angry. This guy is too arrogant. He snorted coldly, "Come and get it with your strength if you have the ability." Speaking of this, a terrifying aura surged out from his body, causing the heaven and earth to tremble. Buzz, buzz. At this moment, many figures appeared in the surroundings. They didn't go forward, but watched the battle from the surroundings. "That's Hu Donglai, right? He's here. Looks like we're done for." "Yeah, we can't defeat him even if we join forces." These people sighed. Lin Xian coldly snorted, instantly displayed the Heavenly Dipper battle sword, 36 battle swords, whistling between heaven and earth. The terrifying law of sword collided with the green fox's claws. A terrifying explosion swept out in all directions. The spectators retreated frantically as they screamed in horror. No way, this kid could really contend against Hu Donglai. Hu Donglia's Saiyan Foxclaw is an ultimate technique. Even if we join hands, we can't block it. That brat had actually blocked it. His 36 Dao swords should be an extremely terrifying saint artifact. Everyone was talking about it. Hu Donglai was equally shocked, his face completely gloomy. Another fierce collision. Everything around them was turned into ashes. The two were once again tied, confronting each other. Hudonglia's expression was ugly, while Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. He nodded. Not bad, not bad. Although I only have half of my strength now, to be able to fight with me for so long. You are indeed a genius. After hearing this, Hudonglai directly vomited blood. The other party was commenting on him? What qualifications did the other party have to comment on him? He was a genius to begin with. Moreover, what did the other party only have half of his strength mean? Was he looking down on him? He rushed forward. The 36 heavenly dipper battle swords burned with golden flames, transforming into 36 golden crows, and directly collided with the other party. Hudonglai was pushed back. Lin Xian said, I don't have the time to fight with you now. You'd better not provoke me, or else you'll end up miserable. Damn brat. Hudonglai roared angrily. 5 tails appeared behind him, shaking nonstop. An extremely terrifying bloodline power burst out, and his aura and strength also increased exponentially. It seemed that he was going to go all out. Turning into a stream of light, he instantly appeared in front of Lin Xian, and the green fox claws crazily fell. However, he missed. He only managed to hit an afterimage. The void shattered, and there was no trace of Lin Xian at all. Was that brat killed? Impossible. Not even blood flowed out. He should have left. What a fast speed. Everyone was discussing. Hudonglia's face became gloomy. He felt a trace of spatial power. Did the other party use a spatial divine ability to escape? Damn it, the other party actually knew such a mysterious divine ability? Who was this person? Lin Xian used the void escape to leave this place. He did not fight with these people anymore. Instead, he wanted to leave as soon as possible. At least he had to ask where this place was. As he walked, he was suddenly stunned, because he found that on the tree in front of him, there was a little white monkey waving at him. Lin Xian was completely stunned. Little white. This little monkey looked exactly the same as the snow-white little monkey. Could it be that the other party had also been knocked down along with him? Thinking of this, he walked forward and said with a smile, Little White. Little White also pounced towards him. However, when it arrived in front of him, Lin Xian's pupils suddenly shrank. He felt a huge sense of danger. Buzz. He did not have time to think and directly dodged. The place where he was originally standing was torn apart by the little monkey, and a terrifying spatial crack appeared. Lin Xian frowned, and a golden light flickered in his eyes. In the next moment, his face became even more unsightly, because in front of him, it was not Little White at all. It was a rune that burned with green flames. An illusion? Lin Xian was too surprised. Someone actually set up an illusion to deal with him? Who was it? Was it the group from before? Suddenly, at this moment, he heard a sound. You can actually dodge my illusion attack. This is really unbelievable. How did you see through it? Lin Xian turned his head and saw a young girl walk out from behind the tree. She was wearing white clothes, and her hair was braided. There was a collar around her neck. She looked very cute. She looked to be about 15 or 16 years old. Lin Xian was shocked. Could it be that this illusion was set up by the other party? Could it be an old monster? He frowned slightly. After all, the unparalleled Sage King also looked so young, but his real body was a Sage King. Could the little girl in front of him be the same? Old monster? You're the old monster. The young girl immediately pouted after hearing that. It was obvious that she was very unhappy with that title. In the next moment, she formed a seal with her palms. Illusion Realm, Void Spirit Slash. As her voice fell, the scene around her changed again. Lin Xian felt that there was an endless void around him. The stars under his feet flickered, and there was a ray of starlight in the sky. It was going to split his body in half. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.